That is TPC and Toy Daddies.
Welcome to the Toy Pick Community Top 10, brought to you by the Toy Daddies.
Hey, what's going on, Toy Pick Community? It's 1/3 of your Toy Daddies. It's your boy Yimbo, along with 2/3 of the Toy Daddies, my man Toy Father. Don't worry, everybody. Everybody's favorite Jason Todd bad boy nature will be joining us this evening. As always, there's 3 of us, and we have, the random Toy Daddiness that has to pop up. So he'll be hopping on. But don't worry, everyone. I don't know if you remember from last week, but we have back-to-back woos. Yours okay, Chris? I was trying to
No, it was good. It was good.
All right, good. So last week, as you guys, again, chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening. Last week we had on Mitchell Wu, and tonight we have the man that inspired Mitchell Wu. It is Johnny, aka Sergeant Bananas. Oh man, so good to have you here, dude. This is awesome. How is everything?
Good. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. Dude, I have a question, Chris, if you don't mind. I gotta launch into something right away because
do it. You're just like jumping in. You're not even like foreplay or anything. Like it's wow, let's go in.
This has been so we've been getting to talk to so many cool people. Again, Johnny, like getting to hear you on previous streams, look at your work, and now have this chance to talk to you. Of course, ideas are are flowing. Here's one. What's it like to have 87,000 Instagram followers? like I'm just saying, from a guy that has 5, and again, that's really cool. It's amazing that that many people want to look at my pictures of action figures. But what's that got to be like? It's just nuts to me.
What's it like to get thousands of likes on your post?
I feel like it's probably not what you would maybe assume. That was like grown from like a long period of time, but
of course.
But I feel like the brunt of it came during a specific years. So I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 years ago is where a lot of that came from, I think.
Okay.
But nowadays, that number's there, but the way that Instagram has shifted a lot. So while that seems, I'm looking at that number forever. So to me, it's just it is literally just a number.
Sure, right.
And so it doesn't really you would think, oh, he's getting thousands of likes and his DMs are blowing up. It's not really though. It's not. You would expect more, but no. I think over the past couple of years, it's really changed and
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm appreciative of the people that are interested in my work, but if you were to start breaking down analytics, it's my account is at the bottom of the ocean and it's dead. It's which is kind of actually funny to me. I feel like I've gone through a different a phase of I cared, and then I'm dude, it's you can't control it. So
sure, right,
it's all good. But I definitely appreciate the people that support. So. That's my
that was just it's a question that I pose every once in a while to just because it's an interesting thing, and you know what, hearing your answer too made me look back as I don't know, when I was first starting out, to get to that first 1,000 was everything, and then recently I was trying to cross that 5K, and it was just and then you do it and it's oh, okay, I did the thing.
Cool milestones that you check off. You're cool.
Yeah.
You get your 5, and then you want to get 10, and then
yeah.
Going and it's cool. It's definitely cool, but I've tried, now I don't put a whole lot of value on it per se. It's I remember when I started that account a million years ago, and I had for whatever reason I had 19 followers. That number sticks out for me for some reason because I don't know why, but it's back then was such a different time, and everything was toy photography has been around for a while, but it was so new to me, and really what the modern day toy community was still in its infancy, really. Not a lot of people, a lot of people that are around now probably weren't doing it. Maybe they were around, but they weren't actually taking photos of toys. So like, in a sense, it does feel like I've been around, like kind of like I was in the arena before the crowd got there.
Yeah.
Other people, and I'll talk about some of those other people later in the show. But it's interesting now to like see during my time, like where it started and where it's gotten to now, and maybe where it's going to go, because it's really interesting.
That's funny. That's you funny. You're in the arena while the crowd. I'm still waiting for the crowd to come. So.
Well, if you were, I mean, I don't know how long you've been doing it, but like, 10 years ago, it seemed very small. Like the community, I mean, it's small now, but it was like microscopic feeling back then, where it's like you kind of knew like the person that did this kind of style, the person did that. Now it's like
there are too many. If
you go on the explore feed, you can see like 100 people you've never heard of.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
I understand your metaphor now.
He was doing it before it was cool, Chris. That's
what he means. That's what he means.
I'm the coolest is what you should have said. No,
right. Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
The OG of cool. Got it. So in terms of when you started, like, going back, why didn't you do Johnny Woo photography? Because you didn't want to copy your uncle, or is it?
I wonder. He probably had that account before I had Sergeant Bananas, but he wasn't doing toy photography yet. The reason why I chose that name is very simple, actually. It was one of my favorite Ninja Turtle toys growing up.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it just like the account kind of started it wasn't toy photography, it was just me posting like photos of like stuff I picked up recently. And I was like, oh, what should I name it? I actually almost went for Mondo Gecko. I didn't, and then I went for that, and then I've left it ever since. And at this point, it's like it is what it is. Really, it's like I don't.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine if you had gone Mondo Gecko?
I mean, now sometimes like I wish I had, and even I like play with the idea like would I ever change my account name? But I don't really. I think I would regret it if I did, even though at times I'm like. Because to me, I'm just Johnny, but online, a lot of people just know you by your online. So it's like, when people are like, oh, Sergeant Bananas, it's like, I'm kind of like, I'm just Johnny though. Like, I mean, I know that's my Instagram name, but it's like, I'm just me. I don't identify as like the guy online.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm just Johnny.
Yeah.
Well, that's grounded of you. I mean, I actually have people. I prefer people call me Toy. So.
I'm Toy Father. not Chris. Come on.
Toy, please, Mr. Father. But so in terms of your journey, like I know you've said this a million times, and you were actually like kind of in the middle of talking about it, but can you just like start us on your toy origin? So going back to when you start being a collector into toy photography now.
Yeah. So, I mean, probably like a lot of us, I got into collecting toys as a young kid, just getting the toys your parents would buy or you get for like a birthday or Christmas. And I remember very early on having the thought of like, if I really liked something, a character, whatever it may be, I always thought it would be like the coolest thing to have a toy of it. And that feeling has stuck with me even now. Like if you see a movie or a show nowadays, you're like, I want a figure of that.
Yeah.
I felt that way as a kid. And so like, I think that kept me as a collector throughout my life. Sure. Like a lot of people, I went through phases where maybe I wasn't collecting as much, some years, like you get into different things, you're not buying as much, but I always like would go into like the toy aisles at like, Target or back when Toys R Us was around and stuff like and just look and be like, oh, that's cool. That's sick. And like, sometimes I would buy stuff, like, even though I wasn't in my like collecting phase per se. So I was always around it, always interested in it. And then about like 10 years ago, I really got back into it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to buy the old Ninja Turtle toys that I never got as a kid. Growing up, that was like the toy line that was like the end all be all for me. That 90s Playmates Ninja Turtle line was like,
Mhm.
to me, it's the best toy line ever.
Do you remember walking into the toy store and it was like an entire wall where you needed to climb a ladder to get to the top to like grab all, because there were so many different variety of figures.
Mm.
Yes. And I wonder now, I'm like, was it just because I was really small?
There was a ladder. There was a huge ladder.
Usually your ladders, Chris. I know you're talking about.
I have a visual of like having to look up like this.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not
yes.
tall anyways, like even as an
Me
adult,
either.
short, but like the aisle, like it just seemed like infinite, right? I mean, you're just like, whoa, like there's just so much up there. But yeah, it just those memories like of like going into Toys R Us and just seeing like end caps and just turtles, and then you go into the aisle and it's just like, and it's just,
Yeah.
that's like, I wish I could go back in time,
Oh,
like revisit that. Man,
yeah. Well, that's what we're doing. That's what we talked about with your uncle last week. Is that like this is such a wonderful way to tap into that childlike innocence we all had. You know, like so. This is at least a way we get a little taste of it.
yeah. I have some funny. I have like a couple of funny memories of like when I was a young kid. My grandma, Mitch's mom, actually, like I stayed over their house when I was a young kid, and like I slept over, and then the next day, she took me to Toys R Us, and she was like, we go in there, and she's like, okay, you can get one thing. I mean, so we're going through the store, and I'm like, I'm putting multiple things in the cart, like, oh, maybe this, and just putting it in the cart, but like noting like, oh, I want that one, I want this one, but knowing I can only get one. And I remember like after the fact, she was like, I'll never take him there again. We were in there forever. Like I just, because I can only get one, I'm like, yeah, I can't decide. But I do remember which one I got, even to this day. It was the storage shell Raph. Like, remember?
Oh, nice. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So I believe I still have that too. So that's kind of a funny memory.
That's hilarious. That is not where that story I thought was going. And then I thought you were gonna be like, and then she bought all of them.
Right.
No, she stuck by her word. Like, and also she was the type that would be like, if you ask, the answer is no. So you kind of have to wait for the offer.
Yeah.
So I did, and I knew she meant it. So I'm like, I'm gonna push. I'm like, okay, like I'm happy with getting one for sure.
Right.
But since we're walking through, I'm like, I want all of these though. Bad. Like, so that's like a funny memory I have of her in like my early collecting days. And
Yeah.
That's so funny. I have a similar memory with my grandfather, who to this day, I mean, God rest in peace, Grandpa. He was the cheapest guy ever, but he came from the Depression time, fought in World War II. He was, pull yourself up from the bootstraps kind of guy.
Mhm.
But I remember he took me to we had Toys R Us, but he took me to Child's World, which was just as big as like Toys R Us at the time. And he's like, all right, Christopher, you need to get like, you can buy anything here. I was like, anything? Okay. And
What?
so the superheroes, like DC superheroes line, like this was a time where they had like every single character. So I like pulled this one. And I remember I was looking for Hawkman, and it was in someone else's cart. I'm like, oh my God, this is the one. And I like pulled it out from someone else's cart. And then he's like, okay, Christopher, not everything, but put that back. But so he bought those for me for my birthday, I believe. And he never like did anything like this. But then I went home and I don't know why, I just didn't play with them. I forgot about them.
Uh-huh.
And then he had called me down to the living room, and he had opened them all up and put them like they were all just standing like on a table.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, wow, that is so cool. But why'd you take them out of the box? We would have kept them, and it would have probably been worth so much more money in the box. No, I didn't think that way, but it was just a fond memory of just like thinking like, wow, can you imagine your grandma just like opening it up and like placing all the figures like I like to this day I can't believe he still did that, but
Yeah.
it was a great memory for me.
Yeah, it's cool. My grandma would have absolutely not have done that. Couldn't care less about the dumb thing, probably. Like,
Yeah, it's so true.
yeah, that's a cool story though. To be able to like get anything you want. I mean,
I don't know what I did to deserve that. I can't remember.
Oh.
But yeah, it had to have been at least 10 or 15 figures. Like pretty
That's-
amazing.
You guys are both triggering memories too. I'm just gonna throw out, Johnny, that like as soon as you started talking about that Shell Raff, I have a memory of my uncle taking me to like KB Toys in the mall, and like that was the one opening it up like right outside of KB. Like, let me sit. There's the plants behind me, ripping. Like, I was so excited. And then my grandparents were also like my key to getting like an occasional toy here and there. And yeah, there was one magical day they got me the Jurassic Park figures. I don't know what I did, but normally when I get like one, and I remember getting home and I can't believe I have this is the wave.
Like you had
The
all
only
of
wave
them.
I ever had.
man, all these success stories. Let me give you one that doesn't end in success.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Well, I thought you alredy did.
Well, I mean, I still got a toy in that other one, so it is
Yeah, I
Fair,
guess.
happy ending there. But so when I remember my first introduction to X-Men was the show, like the animated series,
Mhm.
and at that time, like I was still getting like Ninja Turtle toys, but I like fell in love with the X-Men like immediately. Like as soon as that show came on, like my dad was playing it through the stereo, like blasting the theme song, and I just thought Wolverine was like the coolest character ever.
Yep.
I loved Gambit though. Like I was like, that guy is super cool.
One of me.
Suave.
That old Toy Biz line, was already out, and so like I started noticing them in like Toys R Us, KBs, and stuff. So my dad would like buy me one here or there. Like I had Wolverine, the second edition with the tiger stripe with the little spring claws.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
That was like my favorite toy for the longest time. But I remember looking on the back of the card back and seeing Gambit on there and being like, I never seen that one before. So it started this hunt with my dad and I to where we were just like, anytime we go somewhere, we were looking high and low for this Gambit figure, and we couldn't find it anywhere. And it got to the point for me, like I was like, it doesn't exist. Like, yes, I see this photo on the back here, but like, I don't think that thing is real.
Right.
So fast forward like a few months, and I don't know, I was just, being a dumb kid. My dad was yelling at me. We're in an argument. I remember we're in the hallway. We're like going back and forth, and then that Gambit figure comes up for some reason, and he's like, what if I could find it? And I was like, you can't. I was like, it doesn't even exist. There's no way. And then he like went away. He went into his room for a second. He came out with a bag, and he just like pulled it out, and I was just like, what? Like, I couldn't believe it. And I was like, oh, and he's like, and now you don't get it. And he like put it back in the bag, and like he made me suffer for like a few days. But I slept decent though, knowing I was like, it's real and it's in my.
Yeah.
I was like, at any cost, I'm getting that. I was like, I don't care if I get grounded or he chews me out. That's gonna be mine, one way or another. Like I see it now. It's a reality. He gave it to me a few days later, and like,
Oh, you got it. Okay.
he,
So
he was like, yeah, he gave it to me, but like, in that moment though, where he flashed it in front of me, it was like, I have it, but you can't have it right now. After like
Oh, man.
searching,
Yeah.
that was a little like, like, how dare you? But
where did he find it?
so we have this local toy store like in town, and like they're always like super expensive. Like I couldn't even, I was a kid, so I didn't really have money, but I remember thinking like, I can't even afford a Super Bowl in this place. I would go in there and like look around and be like, oh, look at all this stuff that I want super bad but can't buy.
Mhm.
Apparently he found it there. And it
Wow.
makes sense now thinking about it, just because like the prices of stuff and like how many people are going into this small local toy shop. Like I can see now like why Gambit was probably there.
It was probably
Mhm.
like $10, right?
Probably. I mean, which, when you're a kid and have no money, it's like $10.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like might as well be 1,000. Like
Right.
yeah. 1,000. That's how much it costs a house.
Well, I commend your father's parenting. That was good to make you wait. Again, perception of time when we're little. It felt like an eternity.
it did. But
Um,
and another funny part is like when he gave it to me, I ripped it open, right? and I'm like looking at it, and it had that like snapping like leg action where he kicked out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I remember looking at the figure and being like, I mean, his coat sucks. Like,
Yes.
you have vinyl, like crappy vinyl,
Yes.
and like his head is like so small.
Yeah, couldn't move his arms. I had
You
that toy
wait-
too, man.
You hyped it up too much.
I'm like, yeah, I guess, yeah. There's no way I was gonna live up to hype, right? Yeah. And I just remember like, all right, like now I have him, and then the Wolverine still number one. I had that guy too.
He set the tone. This was the expectation for every. Like I had so much fun with this guy.
Yeah,
Every X-Men toy was compared to him, and most of them fell short.
yeah. The Wolverine figures were always legit.
Yeah. By the way, I think we should get to the chat because
segue.
your
Good
uncle was
segue.
here saying, yeah, his mom, she was tough. But
Yeah.
we have a lot of friends in the chat to say hi to, Chris, if you want to kick things off. And this is a good reminder, everyone, that whenever you have questions for Johnny, please put them in. Chris does a great job of highlighting them. We will make sure that Johnny will get asked these, whatever comes to mind. And I know we already had some in here, so.
Yeah, whether it's a comment, a question for Johnny, like put it in, and I'll try to start, and then we'll show it to Johnny. Josh Brown, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, hey,
Messy Photography. Cannot wait for any of the questions that you're going to ask us today. No pressure. Mitchell Wu Photography.
Mitchell, I have
Toy
to
photography.
send you the video I did of the Super 7 Stitch unboxing. It's up on YouTube, but I'll send you the link.
But hilarious, he put toy in there. So Mitchell Wu Toy Photography. There you go.
There you go.
Some revisionist history over here. We got Wade Crate. What's going on? Endless Fables. Oh, and for a change, Mitchell Wu is not drinking.
I don't know if I believe that.
On camera, in parentheses.
It's scary.
Unworthy thought Chris was wearing a turtleneck. Nope, wearing my Get Lace shirt.
Don't worry,
Get into that
Johnny. You'll hear
later.
all about it.
Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna hear all about it, Johnny. It was a great segue. The reason I brought word. I was like, how am I gonna bring it up during the stream today? Josh Brown has a question. Saw you, or not just a comment. Saw you on a tested video ages ago. Mealy bought your book.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, man. Thanks for the support with the book.
Wade Great says 448 followers, and that'd be a lot of people in my house checking out my work. That is right. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
That is right. Did you ever see that? Just going back, Sir Dork did a video about likes and videos, and he said something about like, can you imagine? He's like, you get 60 people to like your video. That means like, hey, I like your video. I like your video. I like your video.
Mhm.
That's a lot of different people liking your video
Mhm.
or your photo. Sorry. I thought that was such a great video to kind of highlight, whether it's 10, 20, 30, like that's still a lot of
That's a
people. in
room
one.
full of people. Right. That is a full room. So
Yeah.
that's what we always talk about here, being grateful and appreciative. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Zigzag Zoom. What's up, buddy?
What's up, bud?
Man.
Here's a possible name
The
for
master of
Jin-
extreme angles.
Yeah, that is kind of long.
Master.
yeah. It just says, he might have gone for Woody, but not comfortable connotation.
You would have loved the first like 3 or 4 months of us streaming together, because that's all we made was a bunch of Woody jokes.
Yeah, pretty much. Doesn't change.
Not with
Is
that dick that got released, Grayson, by Metzko today. The dick joke's
Is
coming
that's
back, baby.
Dick? That's Dick, right?
That's Dick.
Grayson?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great Dick, Grayson. Comment, loving the probe lens shot you're doing for some of your recent shots, Johnny. We did talk about one of those last week.
I saw that. Thanks, Sonny. Appreciate that. comment.
And 80s Baby also talked about your periscope. He described it as a periscope lens as well.
Yeah, no, it really, the way it works, it really is. I mean, that's what they call it. It's called the Paraprobe.
Mm.
Probe, huh?
I actually have it right here.
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Let's see it.
I'm going single cam. Oh, wow.
Ooh.
And so, like, at this, there's a ring right here, and you can unlock it, and then see how you can like turn it like 360. So like it just
Oh.
it's like weird. It's wild when you have it like when I have it on my camera and I'm looking through. It's just like sometimes I'm like, I know that's what I set up, but what's going on for like I have to like my brain doesn't compute.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, okay, there we go.
So
So-
yeah, that must be hard to like. I gotta go this. How do I adjust it?
So
yeah,
and the image rotates around too as you're like move like on your camera
Yeah, so, like,
screen, like so
yeah,
you could.
I'm
Okay.
facing like this, right? This would be facing. If I just turn it like that, it'd be hitting me.
Oh wow.
So it'd be like ceiling, me, floor. Like it's very interesting,
Hmm.
Wow.
but it's fun. It's honestly like it's a challenging lens to get used to and use. Like at least for me, like it there's a bit of a learning curve here because
Oh, I'm
it's
sure.
it's a macro, but it's a wide angle macro. So it's a 24 millimeter, and then like it's f14. So like,
Oh,
it's like
really?
14 to f40. So like it like so that Wolverine shot that
Yeah.
So I feel like this lens to me the way that I like to shoot at least it excels when it's like in an environment where it can't go, it doesn't see outside things, like when it's in an enclosed room like that.
Or through the car with Noir, right? You had to.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
When you gotta like put
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
to me, it's like I'm like I need to put stuff in front of it or like put it through something or like have it in a room where like it's not gonna like see the rest of my garage because
Mm.
that will like take me out of the shot. I can't stand it.
Mhm.
So it's definitely very challenging to use, but when it works, it really works. So like I'm getting more used to using it. I've been trying like challenging myself to try to use it more and more. So I just becomes like one of the regular things that I use, one of the regular lenses that I use rather.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing though about using that contained spot. I didn't realize that, like, you know, like with Machu talking about his, you know, in previous stuff with us, it's like I thought it was just a hyper focus thing, but no, it's gonna give you so
Well-
much more that probably like expanding outside of dioramas, which then like you said
Mm.
takes you out of the world you're building.
So this version comes with a direct view barrel as well. So
okay.
and then it has the direct view. So
Wow.
yeah, you can just
How
like,
did you find that? Like, how did you find that lens?
man, I think I just stumbled upon a video years ago on YouTube of
Yeah.
it, and I was like, that's really interesting. And then I just kind of had like made a mental note of it, and then like throughout the years, I was like, I want to try that lens. And then I'm like impulsive, so then along the way, I was like, I'm gonna buy that lens.
Aren't we all? We're all impulsive.
and so like back in like I think it was May of last year, I finally just went ahead and pulled the trigger on it. I had never tried it out or anything,
Hmm.
but I was like, oh, it'll be cool. And it was at first, but I quickly realized like, oh, like it's. I mean, I knew like how wide it was, how wide angle it was, and all that, but it was still like, oh, this is a lot different. This is real interesting, but I knew like, the potential though. I was like, this will be able to get some perspectives that aren't going to be possible with like a standard lens, and it was true. Like the Wolverine shot is a good example of that. It would be very hard to do that. I mean, you'd have to like focus stack or something, and it like I think so. Basically, like I had it like this, so like
Oh, wow.
so I'll be shooting at the ceiling, and I like scooted Wolverine, kind of like standing over the lens, and then I just like formed the rest of the shot around that. And I was like, okay, like this looks good. Like there is a ceiling fan in that shot. I know, like I think
I mentioned. Yeah.
there is, and then there's also like some light peeking through because there's two holes in the roof.
Yeah.
Because I like to like shine light through places. So like
Mhm.
when I was commissioning that dio, I was like, need some holes in the roof and like the windows and stuff. There's like have light coming from all directions. But yeah, that was one. That one worked out pretty quickly. I was like, I want to put Wolverine like right there. I want his claw to be like going into the camera.
Mhm.
It pretty quickly worked out, and I was like, then I can just like fine tune it after that.
That's cool. That must be hard to make sure that none of your murder garage is like in the shot. So
But yeah. I mean, it's like there's been times where I'm like, I get to the computer, I'm like uploading photos, and I'm like thinking that I'm done, and I'm like looking at them in like Photoshop. I'm like,
That's the worst. That's
like
the
I see
worst.
it's like I could remove it. Like most of the times, it's like I could get rid. I could just Photoshop it out. But then like sometimes it's like an annoying thing, and it's lit in a weird way, and I'm like, I was like, if it because usually I have it still set up. I'm like, I can just reshoot it.
That's what I've learned. Like I used to just like take my shots and then take it down everything, and then I'm like, all right, let's edit. And then I'm like, oh no, I totally messed that up. All right, gotta put it back together again. Here we go. Now I'm like, all right, I'm gonna leave it. Let's look at the photo.
Yeah, not everybody has the luxury of doing that, but if you do, I feel like it's not a bad idea to leave it up for at least like a 24-hour period. Like if you're done shooting for the day or night, leave it there.
Yeah.
And then just make sure like, okay, it's all good. I can take it down. Because I've definitely had that same problem. Like, damn it. Where were my lights? Like where was this position?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
going back to the chat.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say because I see these comments popping up.
Ladonda.
What's up?
Let's see. Wade Crate. Always thinking about good comments. Not a lot of people in this community have family whom also does enjoy toy photography. Johnny, how does having an uncle who does similar hobby help or impact your work?
Well, it's definitely cool to be able to share something, like I think he kind of talked about it last week where like, when we meet up like for like a family thing, it's like there's a lot to talk about just with that alone. So to have something to share, like, sure, like I could tell my grandpa and he'll listen, but he doesn't do it. It's like he understands on a level as he does it. So it's definitely nice to have someone that gets it without you having to fill in the blanks. Like, oh, and then I was posing. It's like he understands it because he does it. So that's.
Do you guys like see each other all the major holidays, or is it just like occasionally?
Yeah, I mean, usually we see each other Christmas, Thanksgiving. So those two major holidays there, and then he'll come up to the Bay Area because it's my grandpa lives up here, so like he'll come to visit. So we do see each other fairly often, even though we live kind of far away.
Oh,
see,
nice.
Chris is asking because he's trying to still join either the Woos or the Tangs.
Well, see, my brother,
he's trying to be an honorary member.
My brother lives in the Bay Area, and I was just there last summer. Had I done this like way before, I would have hit you up, just say, "Hey, do you want to hang out? Want to grab a beer?"
Yeah.
And then you could have said no.
Yeah,
at least I tried. Yeah.
Yeah. The answer's no, but thanks for asking.
But yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, I get it.
We're in the Bay Area. If you don't.
He's in Alameda.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually not too far away from me.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so next time I visit him,
that's about half hour.
Oh,
it's not bad. You don't even have to go over a bridge to get from Alameda to where I'm at.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
You don't have to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know, because there's that bridge that we always have to cross to get to the San Fran.
Yep, the Bay Bridge. It's horrible. It sucks.
Yeah, the Bay Bridge. Yeah, exactly.
That bridge is trash.
Yeah.
There's always traffic unless it's like.
I feel like everyone's coming in from all angles.
Yeah, my old job, like I would be up pretty early, so like I would beat the traffic, but that was like me being up at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and those are like. It's like in the middle of the night, it's probably fine, but once it hits like 5, then it starts to get that commute time, early morning. Yeah. And then after a certain point, it's just like it's so backed up and just it sucks.
Yeah, Bay Bridge wasn't. Especially during the rush hour time. That's when I got stuck. Like, and I think we just done like a 6-hour flight, and I was like, I was so hungry. We were all just so hungry because there was no lunch on the plane. So we're like, all right, we got to go to the closest In-N-Out because we don't have that here. And it wasn't for another like 40 minutes because we were stuck in traffic. And we just like, we'll order everything on the menu times 3, and then I'll just eat it all. And then you kids, you can have some fries.
Yeah, fries. You can have a salt packet.
Pepper packet.
I got stuck in traffic one time on the Bay Bridge, and like I had to pee to the point like
God.
I thought I was gonna explode and die in my car. I actually pulled over because I'm like, oh, here's like a water bottle. I'm like, I had to go that bad to where it's like, pee in this bottle or piss your pants.
Right.
Yeah.
Piss in this bottle.
Yeah.
So I pull over, and mind you, there's traffic, so it's like bumper to bumper, so there's people, and I'm like, like, of course, right? Like I pull over, and then like all of a sudden, like this Caltrans worker pulls up behind me, and I'm like, what the? Why, dude? And like, he like gets out, and he's like, I roll my window down. He's like, you all right? And I was like, I just got to piss super bad. I thought I was going to die. He's like, oh, okay. I thought something was wrong with your car.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
Yeah, he was just like, I just wanted to make sure that you're all good, which was
Oh, that's nice.
But I'm like, in the moment, I'm like, get the
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm about to explode over here.
Chris, you've also peed in a bottle, right? I know I have. It's happened, right?
Who hasn't?
Like,
Who hasn't?
most dudes at some point
Right.
encounter like a situation where you're like, it's pants or
Right.
you know the bottle, so it's like it's not going to be pants.
Right.
It's like,
yeah. Dave Bot, how's it going? Mitchell Wu commenting on your grandma, his mom.
yeah,
88 Pigs. What's going on, Ozzy?
88, what's going on? Mike Hex, how's it going, buddy?
what's up?
Cal the
Carlos.
Collector. 80s baby. Wu-Tang.
Dario, the man.
I'm just saying,
He's probably sleeping already.
I don't know if you heard the story last week, but my nickname all through middle school and high school was Wu-Tang. So I'm really hoping that I can be the third Wu.
Is your last name is Wu?
No, it's not.
I was like, well, I mean, at that point.
I mean, it's close to it, not really. But my middle school football coach just said pronounced it Wu because I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then my friends were like, "Oh, well, like Wu-Tang." So then I
Yeah.
was Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I've been Wu-Tang like my whole life in school, so it's good. I mean,
Wow, we should hang out when I'm in the Bay Area.
the answer is still no, but well, yeah.
The Wu-Tangs.
Wow.
Clintastic 4, what's going on, buddy? Sequential Plastic Zach, how's it going? Part of Behind the Plastic. Awesome. Danny, Toy Addict 17, how's it going, buddy?
What's up, man?
Oh, Cal agreed that Wolverine was his favorite. I'm assuming of the old toys, right, Cal?
Oh, yeah. Northern Fred, Johnny, the reason I started really getting into toy photography. Oh, that's
How
nice.
about that?
Awesome to hear.
This is a great name right here. Jeremazing Shots. Mitchell says he leaves his setups up for days until he edits.
See, I need to see a test on them before I take them down.
Those poor toys with their holes drilled into them and their wires stabbed.
Plastic dust.
Oh, that's got to be bad. Like you go to the park and then you realize that the leaf's out of scale. Well, you can't go back.
It happens. And then at the end of the day, if you're still happy with the shot, just go for it. But yeah, it's so frustrating.
Rob's Pop View, how's it going?
What's up?
Toy Feather, have you checked that really cool toy store in Alameda? Yes, I have.
Oh, yeah,
Zach?
right. Toy Safari, that is.
Yeah, Toy Safari. That's right. That I went there 4 times in my like week visit stay with my brother. Yimbo, I think I showed you in note showing it has all these amazing vintage toys and it is like stacked top to bottom. Prices aren't bad. I mean, some of the stuff are like, okay, that's too expensive, but really cool store. It's like an old time. I want to say it's kind of old timey, but really just really cool vintage toys. You probably couldn't find the Gambit there.
Probably, yeah.
What were you saying?
I think they have like stuff literally on the ceiling, right? Like when you look them up, it's like I haven't been there for a few years, but yeah.
It was just there last summer. Samurai Chris, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Blitzkrieg, good to see you.
I'm a big fan of you, Johnny boy. And what's up, Frank?
What's
And
up?
again, if you have any questions for Johnny, put them in the chat. I'll star him. We'll ask him. Happy to ask him. I mean, again, this is awesome. This is really awesome to have you here, Johnny. This is like in terms of just your photography, it's very inspiring, and also, you're kind of one of the OGs that started it all. So I know you probably won't say that.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was telling before the stream too. I'm like, like we were guys. Chris and I are guys that started in pandemic, dark times, as I like to call it, and literally didn't realize that this had been a thing. Like I remember, I've told this.
like Yimbo, you and I were like similar. We're like in the box collectors. We just
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
collect
I mean, we've been
them.
collectors our whole lives, the whole shebang. And I remember I was just buying toys again, like not just collectibles, but I bought a couple like just little like 375 action figures. It was like it was a Christian Bale Batman and a Cavill Superman, and I was gonna go see Batman versus Superman. I did these little like over the shoulder shot with these tiny little guys, and I was like, wow, I bet no one's ever thought to take pictures of toys before. Meanwhile, like you and so many guys like you who had started in like 2015 or before, yeah. This is not a thing. What's up, Johnny?
You did the Bale Batman voice a little bit when you said that. Like,
do your Yim Bane. Your Yim Bane's the best.
Oh God, what is the thing that he says? Where I'm blanking. You
The
put me on the
darkness.
spot. You get me all nervous.
The darkness, like I was born in the darkness.
I was born in it.
Bane. That was you merely adopted the dark. That's Bane. That's Bane.
Yeah, Yim Bane. That's Yim
That's what
Bane.
you wanted in Batman. Never.
Yeah, I wanted Yim Bane.
I'm not wearing hockey pants.
That's good too. Wow.
Oh, my favorite one. So that's what that feels like.
I remember him sounding that zesty when he said
Yeah. He did kind of say it that way though about Catwoman. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit that way. Go back and watch.
Yeah, he did.
But Johnny, I have an interesting question
Yim
for
Bane
you.
is good though. Just
Yeah.
break that out later.
So we found out last week that your uncle not a toy collector, but you,
Yes.
you are in terms of you collected and then followed by photography, right? Like your love of the toys and collecting of them, then spurned. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I had a follow up for that, and now I'm losing my train of thought because of the Batman voice. Shoot.
So what do you like? Do you still have that passion for collecting right now?
There we go. Yeah.
No, I'm a crackhead like you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you put your toys?
So I have, I do the bin thing for a lot, like certain ones, and then like for the import, like that kind of price range stuff, I'll put it in like a Tupperware type deal, which
So you don't display them?
Not really. Like I switch out, like, so this is like my workbench desk, and so like I'll switch out some here and there, and sometimes it gets like crazy on here where I'm like, I can't move, like, because there's so many figures, and then like a few weeks ago I'm like, this is wild, and so like I just put a bunch of them away, and then so now I only have like maybe 10 where there was probably like 40 or more. Select ones go on my desk, and then the rest are just like in bins or like a plastic Tupperware type deal. And yeah, I mean, I will eventually get a display case, and that'll go inside the house, but I just haven't got one yet. And I think when I do that, it'll probably be more of like designer type toys that I'll put in there, like vinyl stuff. And I don't know that I'll put too many action figures in there. I mean, maybe some 1/6, like the 1/6 Mondo X-Men line, like things that like I really love that I don't necessarily see myself shooting a lot will go in there. It's like I'm not going to shoot the big vinyl stuff, and
It's so surreal, sorry, Yimbo, to think that, I feel like a lot of the toy photographers, they like to show off like how do they display their things and all that, but you are a pretty big name in toy photography, and yet you don't have a toy room. You have a photography room, but you don't
Mhm.
have a toy room.
Yeah.
And for that, it reminds me of like maybe it's like Rocky. Like you need to go back to like Russia to train, to like, get back to the roots, right? I feel like I need to get rid of all this in order to like really concentrate on the toy photography.
You gotta go, yeah, you gotta go into that gym that's like on the second floor. All the punching bags are like pouring sand out of them, and like all the lights aren't working. And then
Yep.
yeah, the grimy.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, just yes.
The grimy.
Well, Johnny, I remember, and again, Chris, like same brain, like you picked up exactly what my question was going to be, because what I was going to say was, oh yeah, like for instance, we're talking about Batman, like that Catwoman and the Batpod was just announced today, so that's where I was going to ask you, like knowing that you know you are more of a collector, like so where are you typically focusing on what you are bringing into your house? Like what
Good
what,
idea.
like, what are the type of
Good
toys
question.
you are? Yeah. Like what's tickling your fancy? I'm not saying it was the McFarlane Batpod. I was just saying in general that was what
We're really
was triggering.
interested because this year in itself, or at least every year we say this, right? In January, like we're gonna cut it down. We're gonna
Yeah.
concentrate on a few lines.
Uh-huh.
And then by the end of the year, it's like
Yeah, it's
I
like
picked up
everything.
5 new lines. Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
I think for me, like usually I just kind of buy whatever, like, you know, characters that I love, number one, and like stuff that that inspires me in some way, that I look at, you know, you guys do this too, you take photos of toys. So it's like you see the toy and you're like, I have a cool idea for that. Stuff that gives me those kinds of ideas, I'll usually pick up, and that's kind of it, really. That's how I, you know, pick and choose, really. It's
Is
For
there-
for your photo ideas, not necessarily like sometimes like, gosh, I want that.
well,
Or
sometimes
that too.
it's
That
both.
too.
At times it's both, where it's like I really want that, and I'm also gonna take a bunch of photos of it.
Mhm.
But sometimes it's not, like kind of like the, you know, Mondo 1/6 line. It's like, I mean, it's I would love to take photos of those, but the way that I approach photos and think about ideas, it's like I would need it's like I would want a 1/6 scale Dio, and like
yeah, that's
and I don't need one.
right.
I have things that I could, you know, make work. But when I like really love the character, I just want to put my best foot forward in terms of like approaching the idea and what story I want to tell. So for that reason, with those, I don't think that I would shoot them. Maybe a lot, maybe ever. Even though they're super cool to look at. Like I have Omega Red on my desk, like the new,
Mhm.
and I'm literally like, it's so cool, and I'm just looking at it all the time.
Yeah.
It's so cool looking, but I'm like, but I don't have that pull to be like, I need to set something up, because unless all of a sudden the like perfect idea popped in my head, and I'm like, I have X, Y, and Z to execute this idea, then yeah, that would be what it would take for me to be like, all right, you're coming off the bench, let's go. Like,
That's like, man, what you just said like totally speaks to me. I love photography, but collecting was my first passion, and so they're just figures that I'm like, I want that. I'm probably not going to take a photo of it, but I want it so badly, and I will look at it and just look at it before I go to bed and stare at it, maybe hold it and then touch it, and then that's it.
then it's all like, get away from me.
And then call Johnny to hang out in San Francisco.
No, no, but yeah,
This is a great ongoing.
after hearing that too, it's like you pet your toys. Yeah, no way.
Just say, it's right here.
But well, that's I feel you know that's how I am too. Like Chris and I we've joked about that in the past. Like man, we just bought it. I had no desire to even photograph it, but I just wanted to own it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
So we know that feeling.
Totally
But
know that
because I've already tried and failed to like not buy like I'm just gonna get toys I'm gonna photograph. But then I would buy so many toys that I wouldn't even get to photograph. And then
feeling. Yes.
so that wasn't a good enough excuse for me.
Yes.
As collectors, I'm guessing you guys do this too, where it's just like, well, I haven't bought anything in like a day, so I need to be like, you're going on like Amazon or wherever, and you're just like, I can have that tomorrow, sick, and you just buy it, and it's
So
not,
true.
you don't, and then you get it, and then you're like, cool, and then it's like, and then you're just off to the side, and you're like, what do I have coming in next? Like it's
Yes.
the appreciation of what I get. I'm trying to be better about that. Like,
Yes.
to really like
Amazing.
appreciate the thing, because I get so many. Naturally, like you start to it just normalizes it, and you're just like,
Yes.
oh, I get tons of figures. Like this is my life, but you forget that you're fortunate enough to be able to
Yeah.
afford them and collect them.
Mhm.
I mean, I kind of, in a way, look at photographing them as is appreciating them too, right? Like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
when you're a kid and you get a toy, you're like you're obsessed with it, and then you go and play with it in your room, and you're making up the storylines and making the sound
Yeah.
effects and all that stuff. And really, like the photography thing for me is just like an extension of that. Just
Mhm.
not making the sound effects, maybe in my head.
In the head. Yeah.
I'm not banging them together and like, like got him,
Yep.
stuff like
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, with the sweaty shots, it's still in the head. I'm hearing the thwip.
Yeah.
No
don't know why I
shooting.
walked
What's
in
up,
on.
buddy?
Just
What's
throwing
going
webs
on?
around. No big deal.
Good to see you.
What's up, Johnny? How you doing?
How's it going, man?
We've missed
Apologies
you.
for being late.
It's all right.
All good.
We're
You're
all
here
so
now.
mad at you.
I was doing
Don't
a
worry.
nighttime routine with the kids. Wife's away,
All good.
and they
Okay,
miss her so much I can't get them to sleep.
They're not asleep. They're like off to the side
I'm
right now.
pretty
playing with
sure my
toys.
daughter's faking it
Yeah.
to be nice because I kind of got frustrated. I was with her for like the past hour. I'm like, no, it's okay. Cry a little bit. You can miss your mom. Blah 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 blah.
They're like, I'm
After
just missing Sergeant Bananas. That's it. It's okay. Keep
I'm just
going.
missing hanging out. I'm just missing hanging out with friends. Yeah. No. This is way more important. Mhm. Yep, I know my priorities. I'm good.
You're a good daddy, Chewy. You're a good daddy.
Not really. At the end, I was
we're
very
happy.
frustrated with her. She knew it. And that's why I think she's faking it. She's like, all right, I know.
Ah.
It's her
So,
it's past
but
the bedtime. That's a big thing.
It's so true, Johnny. Like, there was a point, and I think all of us on the stream have felt that, like, where today something came, yesterday two things came, then on Saturday 4 things are going to come into the mail, like whether it's Amazon, whatever, and then you open it, and I tell this to like Yimbo or No Chewing every now and then. I'm like, I have so many unopened boxes around me right now, like sitting around me, that I'm so disgusted with myself. Like I just need, I need to either open them or just put them away and not see them, like so
Mhm.
that I can start fresh again.
Yeah.
And I think that will go into kind of like some of our goals that we'll talk about like later. But like this year, we're trying to tighten it up in terms of appreciating what we get, limiting what we get, and it's not necessarily limiting what we want. It's just we don't need to get everything. And I think after 20 years of collecting, I feel like I'm like, all right, now I can understand what I really want.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
It's taken the last 4
now.
years, Chris, but we're getting there. We're getting
Yeah.
there.
Only now I can try to limit myself to 100 toys a
To
year.
100 toys, and I'm already at 47. Great.
100. That's an aggressive goal. Like,
So, I mean, we'll talk about it more, but I got 214 last year, and I'm sure I got more than that last year. So I thought half of that would be a reasonable goal. But this year, I was like, all right, let's count. Going into 2024, I was like, let's count all the pre-orders that will probably come this year, or any of the pre-orders that I did last year, and they just started stacking up. I've only bought 6 figures in this year, like in 2024, but the rest are just pre-orders that I know will be coming.
mhm.
If it helps, a lot of those pre-orders might not come this year. Could be
Fair point.
There's no
Fair
guarantees.
point.
It
Fair
is
point.
a good point. Yeah.
We'll just track, and just maybe they won't show up.
Like not Clark Kent. No faith. I think that might be 25.
That's a fair point. That probably could come out 26, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
Johnny, is there anything that you are looking forward to?
right back,
It's
guys.
either recently been pre-ordered or something that's coming out soon that you're like amped for?
You know, I'm looking forward to the Mezco turtles.
Oh yeah.
I don't know when those will come out, but that's something that I'm definitely excited for.
Are you super afraid because it's Mezco Turtles and it's another Turtles line that suddenly they'll be like, hey, here's Mezco Shredder, here's Mezco April, here's Mezco Splinter, and suddenly you have this entire really high-end turtle collection growing?
I mean, I'm just like a reckless crackhead collector, so I'm like sick. I'd be like, I guess I'm buying them all. Like, I mean, they already announced what Casey Jones, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
have to get that because who's Raph gonna hang out with then? You know? So
Not his brothers.
yeah, it's like those guys are old news. I need another one. I'd probably well, depending on how it looked, really. So if I thought it looked good, then yeah. I mean, with turtles, it's like I somewhat blindly will buy them. Not every brand, but like the NECA movie stuff, like I'm pretty much all in on that. And then like the Last Ronin stuff, I've been getting like all of that. So
Yeah, the Last Ronin stuff is so good.
and then a lot of the Super 7 Ultimates, like I'm gonna have mostly all of them. So again, I have so many. I mean, it's a great time to be a fan of Ninja Turtles for culture.
Did you get that new Raph?
The Ronin one?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
I love that figure right now. Like,
Yeah,
it's something I keep playing with.
I didn't realize that it was the standard version and not the last stand with the like arrows and blood. And I'm like, man, if I would have known such a crackhead, I'm like, bye. And I didn't really.
I'm gonna get both too, Johnny. It's fine.
I got
so
both.
am I.
Yeah, I'm getting both.
But yeah, I'm like, I probably could have just been good with the one, but whatever, it's fine.
He's all bloody with the arrows.
Bloody with the arrows. Which reminds me, I have to add 3 more figures to my list now because I totally forgot about those. It was the bloody one, Splinter, and Leo.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Those
Johnny,
great.
based on your turtle fandom and knowing, because like I've screwed with some loyal subjects, NECA, and Super 7 in terms of turtles. Oh, and then the Fury toys, the not Leo, the Spring Samurai. Yeah. So those are the ones that I've messed with. So that means, what am I leaving out? SH Figure Arts I've never messed with, or the Revoltex. So but based on what you've messed with, what has been your favorite in terms of, we'll start with articulation. Like, what has been your most fun turtle set to pose?
Articulation. It's a little kind of hard to say just because I feel like when it comes to turtles, they're limited automatically because of the shell.
Okay.
So it's like you're not really getting an ab crunch outside of the like Revoltech because they're Revoltech, so they can
right.
Stuff. But man, articulation, I would probably say the NECA movie stuff. But I don't like that it doesn't have a bicep swivel. But I understand why. I wish it did.
Okay.
Those those look. The movie ones are like one of my favorite figures ever. Like, period. Yeah. They photograph so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just those. That's what I wanted when I was a kid, seeing the 1990 movie.
Yes.
You got the rubber ones, which were cool, like from the Playmates line. They're like soft. Remember those? They're like rubber.
Yes.
Those were awesome. I'd always pop the head off. All the limb, they didn't make that kind of noise.
Yep.
But it didn't look anything like the movie, really. Like, they were cool, but you're like, okay, like.
Didn't they? Those were the ones that had the weird spots, right?
Yeah.
That's how I felt about Super Shredder, the Playmate Super Shredder, and I was like, I want a Super Shredder, and that was like my favorite like figure, that like Playmate Super Shredder. But then when NECA came out with that Super Shredder, that was what brought me back into collecting because I'd taken a serious break. I
Mhm.
bought like 3 of them like that day, and I remember it was during the pandemic, and we just started kind of like coming back in like for a summer program, and I was like, all right, at 12 o'clock this thing's gonna drop. That's what Twitter says. So I'm like, I'm like, I gotta buy 3. I bought 3. Guess what? 2 of them are still sitting in my basement in the box. But
Chris, I'll take one. Done.
you don't have one?
I don't have one. I need a super
Really?
shredder.
You don't
So,
have
yeah,
one?
put it with the steel that you have for me.
Oh man. But I love that figure so much because it looks exactly like the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's
exactly.
a very telling sign. Your 100 list bought 2 figures instead of Chris.
The Stitch.
Off the block,
The Stitch.
man.
Yeah.
Steel,
I mean,
Stitch,
I may have been a
Shred.
little aggressive trying to convince you that, yeah. But yeah, we both bought 2 Stitches, so
Yeah.
I still have to place my order for that. Johnny, you get that Batman Rebel Tech, the Arkham guy that's coming out? Do you mess a lot with the Rebel Techs?
Not a ton, but I do appreciate them for sure. I have I think the last one I got was that Spidey 2.0.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Like super nice. Can do basically anything you want it to do.
Did your leg fall off?
Yes, actually. At the knee where the
Yep.
knee is, right?
Right at
Yeah,
the knee.
it was
Oh,
separated.
mine's a thigh.
Yeah.
yours, yeah.
I got a replacement, and I
Me
haven't
too.
tested that one a ton. And I think that's probably part of why. Because I'm like, oh, I don't want to mess him up. Like if I start posing him, then like maybe his leg's gonna pop out.
My Moon Knight did the same thing right at the knee.
It seems to be like an issue with their figures. I've heard that with other characters as well outside of those two.
Mm-hmm.
So I have, and then I have Deadpool. I mean, I have a few actually, but as of recent ones, Deadpool and Spider-Man, are most recent.
I need to get Deadpool.
Well, that's the thing. Like that Moon Knight
Yeah,
looks
that's right,
fantastic. So many people have been taking amazing shots. Like I see Toy Mertz in the house. Like he's been taking great shots. Like so many people. And it's like where I'm now in 2024, my collecting mode. I'm like, all right, if I'm going to shoot Moon Knight, I have that gorgeous Mezco that like I don't give enough love to. I have the Legends one that I just bought because I'm like, I should just get this. So I'm trying to like stop myself, but I love that people love it so much that I'm hoping that obviously that's going to translate into the Arkham Batman. So I'm definitely hyped for that one. But yeah, I'm picking and choosing. I'm trying to be.
Yeah, but you had a big purchase today. You had 5 figures in your.
I know. I still have to finalize that, but it's
you
all
didn't?
me. It's staggered. Well, because I had to. And I was going to a meeting. You know how it is. So I still have to hit the checkout. But yeah, it was so funny, Johnny, because I was my first like hobby Genki, like putting in like a import order, and I'm like, but guys, do I do the shipping? Is this going to do this? It says a private warehouse. I was just freaking out.
This actually segues into a great question for Johnny.
Yeah.
We all have a chat, Machu and Jay Shad and 3 of us, of like we call it. I like to call it a support group in terms of like, should I buy this? Like, or is this an all-in buy or a support / enable group?
Right.
Do you have one of those too? Like before you buy something, or are you just like, let's just buy it? Like, all right, we're gonna buy 3 of those, or we're gonna buy that, or like, what do you guys think of this? Or should I buy this? Or are we all gonna buy this?
No, yeah, I'm just kind of like a lone wolf, I guess. I just do it or I don't, and I might not even say anything about it to any people that I talk with until they see a photo of it. So
You're a pack of one. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I talk to other friends and other collectors and stuff, but I generally don't be like, oh, I just bought this. Or the time where I would say it was like, oh, I'm gonna pick this up, and if I did too, I'd be like, oh yeah, I ordered that as well. But generally, like I like what I like, and like if someone, I don't need opinions. Basically, it's like I'm gonna get it. It's like if it's sucks, it sucks. If it's awesome, then I thought so.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I like that confidence.
Yeah,
I do not have that confidence.
Yeah.
I need a support group to be like, do I need Superboy?
Yeah,
Might help saving money though, right? Because I
it
don't,
does.
don't
Try.
save any money the way that I operate. So it's like, oh
I
yeah,
mean-
I need that.
I've definitely spent money thanks to our group that I
So
hadn't
true.
planned on, but then there have been times that the guys have saved me from.
It's hard to tell you no because you'll still do it.
Yeah, Yembo's like, hey guys, I bought 10 figures at Target the other day. I'm like, oh my god.
Impulse, huh?
Not
It's like,
bad.
Well,
Not
yeah,
lately.
it's that 10. That's an exaggeration. It's not an exaggeration.
I want to highlight real quick. Jukebox Hero. You put up that comment about like the dopamine fix, and it's so true. And I'm just gonna share what's been working for me. And I know one of our friends, Cockstraight, we're like I've been talking to him. And this is so Josh. Like I hope you don't mind me share, but like the two of us both shared in a chat the other day. Like instead of hitting the buy now, which I definitely have been, like if, again bored at home or whatever, I try to just go, oh, we'll go open a toy, dummy, and then I'll like go down. So like when I need my
Yeah.
dopamine fix, rather than buy the new thing, I'm like, let me just go, and then I look and I just like stand there. I'm like, should I? Oh, is Andre? Is it today? Triple H? Is Snicker Shredder? And then that's how I'll get my dopamine that way. So that's my advice.
Yeah, that's true. Visit your own internal toy shop that is
Yeah.
right next to you and see if there's something there for yourself.
The worst is when you pass over like the same 3 figures. Or like, I bought this, but I don't want to open it right now.
I know. Sometimes, so John, does this happen to you too, where like a figure comes in, but like, are you ever in like prohibited or inhibited, restricted with time, like where a toy comes in, you're like, damn it, I don't have, like, because you have all those diodes behind you, which people we know, but they don't know, right? But like, you have a ton of diodes.
cabinets.
So like, if a new toy comes in, but you're like, oh, it's like, will you set that aside, or will you just like, that's it, I'm tired, reworking the whole garage to get this figure shot?
If I have an immediate idea, then I will, if I can, I will like drop everything and get to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, yeah, I get stuff in all the time, and like sometimes I won't shoot something for years. It's happened where I've had a figure for years and I didn't open it, and then one day some idea pops in my head, and I'm like, now's the time. And
Yeah.
it happens. So it's a case by case basis, really. It's like in the moment, maybe if I get it, then okay, but otherwise, like, I'm not pushing it. I really try to not ever force any photos. Like, I'll wait until I have the want to do it, because I've learned over time, like, that's the time when I get that feeling, I'm like, okay, I feel creative right now, like it's a good time to shoot. That's when the best stuff will usually happen. And vice versa, when I don't feel like that, but I want to be creative and I'm just trying to force it, it's like everything I take a photo of, I'm like, nah, it could be better. I could do better than this. Like, and so I just don't even shoot if I don't feel that, get that feeling.
Well, here's a follow-up to that. Like, do you ever go back to revisit like old shots that you initially, transferred over? You're looking at them on a computer, you're like, this sucks, I don't like. But then have you ever gone back with like fresh eyes to be able to like salvage like something from a session like that? Or are you more of just like, I'm going to reshoot the whole thing if you're not happy? Because that's like, I'm just curious.
I've tried, like, if I'm like, maybe I'll look at it again, and then I feel like it's very rare that I'll like settle. Like, if I didn't like it initially, it's usually like that's how I feel about it. Like, I go back, I'm like, yeah, nah, that wasn't it. And in that case, like, it comes to a question of like, is the idea good enough to do again? Like, do I want to set that up again, or do I want to just wait until I have something that I feel better about? And oftentimes it'll be the latter of the two. I'll just wait until a better idea comes.
Yeah.
Well, we got a question from Waycrate. So with no display or official inside or everywhere toy, is there a figure you would like to take inside or as a pocket fig, Johnny?
I mean, there's toys inside the house. Like, when stuff comes in, if I do open it right away, like, it'll kind of sit on the dining room table for a little while, just like, the Breaking Bad set that I just got, like that was on my dining room table for like 4 or 5 days, just sitting there, and like I knew I was like I want to shoot that, but I don't have something interesting enough for me yet. And then it's kind of funny, like I ended up one day I was like, all right, I gotta take this off the dining room table. Like my girlfriend, I could already tell she kept looking at it and like, get this crap out of here. And so I took it in the garage, and as soon as it kind of came in here, I was standing here and I'm like thinking about it for a second, like what could I do? And then the couple photos that I just posted recently just kind of came together, like
Yeah.
I like that one.
it's quick, and it was like, okay, and maybe I just needed to be in here, like seeing some of the dials, and like, because that helps too. Like when figures are sitting in the box, it's like it probably takes me longer to actually get an idea for it. But if it's on my desk and I'm staring at it every day,
Mm-hmm.
he is formed just by looking at him, thinking about the character, and like, you know, their storylines and stuff. Like, where would they be? What would they be doing? These are things that I ask myself, like,
Right. No.
set stuff up, and you know, I want the story to make sense, and to a fault at times. I'm like, no, that can't happen because that character would never do that. And I don't like it if, you know, like I just want it to make sense, and it's kind of annoying, honestly, that I go like one way with that stuff. But you know, like staring at the toys on the desk, the ideas form, and when they're in the box, they tend to not as quickly.
There. Well, Johnny, I had to pull this up. Thanks for seeing that, Chris. Because one of the things you mentioned in the things that you look for in dios is, you know, ways to get light into your scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that like it's taken me so long to figure out lighting, because that's like what photography is. Like, but like really figure out how to get it to work with my camera.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing, like, I realized lately that my last like stumbling block has been this style, like that natural sunlight through into a dio. I don't know. I'm at a loss. Like,
Well,
how did you set up the shot? Yeah, like,
that's
if
a
you
good
don't mind.
segue into kind of like what Cal the collector wanted to ask.
There you go.
Any
Yeah.
lighting tips?
Yeah. Should I? Okay. Well,
Well, yeah,
So-
however-
I'm like, okay. So I used to shoot outside, like primarily, like 100% of the time outdoors when I first started, and I was just, you know, using natural light, and like you can get some really cool photos and stuff using natural light. And then along the way, I got one Lume Cube way back in the day, and I started experimenting with that. And what I would do is I would take the cube, and I would like have a figure on the table, and I would just start going like this, and seeing different angles and seeing how it affected the look of the photo. And I started to learn quite a bit just from doing that little simple exercise. I'm like, why does it look better when the light's back here? Back. And I mean, I just honestly became obsessed with it to the point of like I was always just trying different things and kind of just trial and error. Honestly,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it is a lot for me. I didn't like. I'm not bragging. It's like I never watched any videos on it. Maybe that's my work. Honestly, I don't know. But like, I just do what feels right and looks good to me, and that's what I've always done. And so like, there's no difference with the lighting. It's like I just experimented. I tried different things, saw what I didn't like and wouldn't do that, and kept the things that I did.
Yeah.
So like, but I do think that it's a good exercise. Is, you know, if you just want to take a figure, put it on a table, turn off all the lights, and just move it around and see how it looks on the figure, see how it affects the way that the photo looks, and you'll quickly kind of learn like, oh, like when I put it back here, it looks like this. If I put it over here, it looks like that. And you know, you kind of just pick and choose what you like, and use them on what ideas make sense. At least that's how I do it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man. And it's masterful work, honestly. Like anytime, you know, like the way you're able to capture the light rays, just even the dust. And I know is it atmosphere aerosol? Is that your go-to? Like,
It once was, and then for a while now I've been using the Smoke Genie.
oh, there you go. Okay.
The Smoke Genie, which you're familiar with, it has it comes with a fan, and that's it's like their hazer. So it literally connects onto the thing. So you turn this fan on, and then you just press it and just haze.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And that helps with the atmosphere a lot, and so that's the other part of it too. Like the atmosphere, that's another thing that I focus heavily on is what with the character. I'm like, what would make sense for this character? Like what type of atmosphere, the environment, the effect, the time of day, what are they interacting with? Does it make sense to have this? Or I ask myself a lot of questions. When I'm setting things up, and I do a lot of standing there and looking at it, looking at the camera, adjusting little things, minor adjustments. And I mean, over time, it may sound like a long process, and sometimes it is, but there is I do have a process. So I kind of go through the options. I'm like, okay, this, and then once I feel like I've got a solid foundation of a photo, that's kind of when I really start to have the most fun, because I'm like, what else can I do with what more can I add to it? Do I need to take something away, or I'm like, what other little props can I insert into this photo that would help? Little things like that.
Well, we got Sir Dork in the house, and he says no one was a bigger inspiration to me more than Johnny was when I started. Big compliment.
Thank you. Thanks, dude. Appreciate
Nice job, Jared. That's awesome. Just back to lighting. Zigzag Zoom asks, what kind of light did you use for that Breaking Bad shot?
I'm wondering if you like the brand. So I use LumeCube lights, and then I also use Hobo lights. That's the name. What can you see? So you can see that one back there with the soft box on it. So I have a bigger one. It's
not on the picture, right? You're talking about the actual behind you, Johnny, or?
Well, there's that. So that's a Hobo light behind me, like the umbrella.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
But I have a few more that are out of frame. That are one's like a 300 watt. That one that you can see is 100 watt, and then I have another 100 watt on a C stand. It's a different brand. I use those a lot. For that Breaking Bad shot, I used. Did I put it behind the scenes in that photo? I don't remember.
There is. If you click on it and go right, Chris.
Let's see. I got it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay.
Okay, so one that's on the table is a Hobo Light Mini. That's a 20 watt bicolored light. And then the one that's above it is their Pro, which is a 300 watt. It has a snoot on it, which is helping create that beam, the direct, which is a key component to getting those types of rays. And then the one to the right in the frame of the photo is another 100 watt that you can kind of see, you see it and then you see the beam of light come through the roof there.
Yeah. Was this the roof that you were talking about with the Wolverine shot too, with the ceiling fan in the hole? Is that the same one? Or?
Sage, I forget the last part of Sage made that dial. Let me get his account. So
I didn't even realize Jesse was there.
Sage JDG. Yeah, he not you don't see his face, but you see.
No, but that's a great addition. Again, just like the world building, the scene building. Oh, that's so neat. Because I definitely missed that detail.
Yeah, it's funny. This morning, someone had commented on that photo, and they're like, "Oh, this is a great shot." And by the way, the vials are upside down, and I kind of laughed because when I was setting that up, I was like, when they're right side up, it just looked funny to me, and I'm like, I'll put them like this. So I was aware, but I was like, I'm doing it anyways.
You're drying them out. You just
you just make sure I mean, he's a good cook, so he didn't want particles or anything extra things going into it. So you put them upside down to prevent any
Hey,
of that.
he was all about that purity.
See, I don't need to watch the show tonight.
Yeah, I was like, Chewy, did you watch the show already?
No, but I can read a picture pretty quickly.
Okay, fair point. He's a good cook.
But yeah, Johnny, this is like screams I am the danger. Like that's damn,
Yeah.
that's so good.
I think like with this one, it was kind of like that. And a lot of times with like my photos, it's the vibe. Like, can I capture the vibe of the character, the show, the movie, the whatever it may be?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I love about this one too. Again, two different pictures here. You know what I mean? Like two different concepts, like two different stories. Like I said, this to me is the danger, and then this is literally like the cook, the chef, like the guy that's making the purest meth that he can make. You know, like again, different vibes. I love.
Actually, let me show you something. So the beakers, like the little chemistry set, this is what I shot through, and I used that lens, and I shot through. And yeah, so you can, if you go back to that photo, you can see like, so that's
that's
crazy.
awesome.
like I shot through like there.
And that's what you're able to do. Like so you need that style lens, the teleprobing, right? So like in order to be able to.
I could stick that lens on this, like
Wow.
on it, and it's like it's still like you can focus. I mean, he's like a decent amount away from where this is, but like to be able to do things like that without that lens would be very hard. But it's things like that it's like that lens. That's the type of way. That's what the type of things that has me thinking. Like, well, what? It's like, yeah, I could just have it in there and have it super close to him, but I'm like, what could I put in front of it? What could I frame him with? Like, it's actually not part of the dial, but it adds to the story that's going on inside the dial. Just like, questions I ask myself, like, what can I, that's once I have the solid base and the lighting's already like ready to go. Those are the questions I start to ask myself, like, what else can I add? What else do I have? What other props do I have that could be an addition to this idea story?
Yeah, wow, that's amazing.
So that's two things I've written down so far: the hobo mini light and a periscope probing light.
So the lens is by it's called Venus Liowa. That's the brand, and then the name of that specific lens is the Paraprobe. It's I will say it's not cheap. Just a warning. What actually really sucked for me is I bought it, and then I don't know. I feel like it was like 3 or 4 months later they came out with like another set that was three different like views, and like it was $8,000, so I wasn't gonna buy it anyways. But the thing that really got me was that this one. So the one that I have is an f/14 at the max, and then like this one was an f/8, and I'm like, I wish I could have had the f/8 one. Like, it would have been nice, because I don't know what it goes up to, because this one goes f/14 to f/40. If that one's f/8 to f/40, then that really does piss me off. I'm like, But maybe if I become super rich, I will buy that $8,000 set of lenses, because I know, like, okay, I can use this. I can use it enough to have justified the purchase, even though at the time it didn't matter to me. I'm like, I'm doing it. The impulsiveness. I'm like, I'm buying it. I'm like, I don't care. It's worked out so far. Like, I use it a lot now. At first, I wasn't, though, because it was like weird and challenging.
But yeah, I think that's what in terms of just like hearing what drives your photography, it's what can I add to this? How can I keep making it better? And that lens is part of your kind of journey in itself. It's like, all right, this is this brand new thing. How can I make my photography better? And I think I can't imagine setting up that shot for that Breaking Bad, like right here. And put it up right here, and just being like, I would have been so excited if I had framed something like this. I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing.
I was stoked, like, because before that was like a last add to the photo, because like what I was doing was like, I was like, I have some other like beakers.
Hold on, Johnny.
What, man? Is that the
E2 was messing with some beakers.
yeah, he's busting out the beakers. So I was looking for other like beakers that I thought I had somewhere, and as I was looking for it, I came across this, and I was like, aha! I was like, I'll use that. I was like, because it makes sense with what's going on.
Mhm.
Immediately, I was like, I put it in the shot, and I was like, I'm gonna just put it there. And quickly, I was like, yep, that's it. Now I was like, that was like the thing that I was looking for,
Mhm.
the addition to the photo. So.
That's cool.
What's funny though, which kind of in some ways ties back to that initial question about the followers that you asked me in the very beginning of the stream, how does it feel? And like how I was like, oh, it's different than you think. Like, you know, my account's dead. So I posted that first Breaking Bad photo on Monday. And then I had, you know, this one I posted today ready to go, like for today. I knew that basically the second photo was going to take a dump in terms of engagement because of the first one. I'm like, but I felt like in terms of like my page, I'm like, well, I could post something else in between, but I'd rather just have those two together and then post something else, which is ultimately why I posted it. And I was right though. It is taking a dump in comparison, which is funny. Like I'm like, I knew it.
I will say that when I saw your shots and also Jason B. Michael's shots, I immediately put those figures back in the box.
Yeah. I'm saying that for a different reason than you are, actually. But when new figures drop like that and everyone's shooting them, at time unless I really want to shoot it, it's like I don't want to get lost in the crowd.
Exactly.
So if that's what you meant, then I completely agree.
Yeah.
Because like I just wanted to shoot it anyways. Like I had the idea, so I was like, all right, I'm doing it. I don't give a shit. You know, so, other people are posting it and whatever.
Samurai Chris asks, "Hey Johnny, you ever want to make your own character with a figure with its own backstory?" Here we go.
Not a bad. Yeah, this is teeing you up, huh?
I'm glad I didn't miss this.
I don't have any aspirations for that at the moment, but maybe in time. Yeah, I do.
Like nothing? Like not even like a Ninja Turtle like side character?
No, not really. Yeah, like something original. I'd have to think. I mean, I'm sure there is, but
Original's like, well,
I mean, you could just be you, and you're just in the Ninja Turtles cartoon, and you're like, I don't know.
or it could be an
Side
already
character, like the
existing
server
character
pizza.
with just a different name.
yeah, probably not. Just yeah, I don't think so. I wouldn't want a figure of myself, that's for sure.
With the probe lens, like just
I mean, I say that, but if someone presented like a super awesome looking one of myself, like, yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I did
Come
one.
on.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh. but like thinking about it now, I'm like, what brand is making this? It's like, I don't want to be like, I mean, you've seen the selfie series, like, I don't want that. I don't want that.
okay. Fair point.
Speaking of the probe lens, did any of you want to buy this one? Because I want to get the new one that Johnny has.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you.
Well, yeah, we'll be in our chat.
Yeah.
We'll do a
I just need
bid.
to throw that money towards that newer lens.
We'll
That's
do
why.
a timeshare between the three of us.
Yeah. We'll just
Yeah, that's-
yeah. Just divide that by 3, and then we'll give you. We got it.
And by the way, I wanted to address Zigzag Zoom's question about like removing the front part of the lens so that it becomes a regular lens. Yes, like that's what Johnny had showed that earlier at the start when it first came out. But yeah, right, Johnny, it comes apart.
It's just a barrel, separate barrel. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
becomes this then, if you want to buy it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you have people that are like biting at this now, Matt.
That's Toyworth asks, do you feel you need to post though? I feel you want to grow. For those who want to grow, need to keep getting things out there, or else IG will drop engagement. Probably not an issue when you're already established on socials.
I do feel I need to post, but not for not for growth, and it's not because of the followers I already have. It's just for my own thing. Like
Mhm.
I need to create photos to feel normal.
Mhm.
Like if I have a lull in like shooting, like even if it's like a few days, I start to get like I want to take a photo of something that I'm excited about. It's in a similar sense of like buying figures and like the addiction to it. It's like I am addicted to creating photos. Like,
Mhm.
and I get more enjoyment out of creating photos than I do when I get a figure, actually, for sure.
Yeah.
Johnny,
is-
would you say it's more of like a backlog, like a buildup? Like if you have an idea, you want to get it out there because you don't want it to just sit there in your head constantly.
Well, I couldn't necessarily say that because the way that my brain works is like I don't really plan out ideas beforehand. They just
Okay.
like organically happens like in the moment. Usually, like probably 90% of the time. So like the Breaking Bad photo just happened. It wasn't like
Mhm.
I was thinking about something. I was like, oh, these things feel right now, and I just kind of trust that process, and it's worked out for me so far most of the time. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I do feel the need to post, but not for the reason of growth. But I
Mhm.
understand if you're trying to grow, why you would feel that. But I would also say to that you will feel. I mean, never, in my opinion, I would feel more fulfilled putting out work less often that I was more happy about than stuff all the time that is kind of like, yeah, it's all right, it's fine. Right? I mean, I think
Yeah.
probably
No,
like,
I'm with you,
and
Johnny.
don't get me wrong, like I put out photos that I kind of have maybe I've taken a while ago that I just didn't post, and I'll just throw it out there sometimes. I've actually been using Threads to do that, just kind of like leftovers that I have sat in my camera roll too long that I'm like, this is no longer like main page worthy. It's like it can go over here where yeah,
Mhm.
Got
it's
it.
like serious about it. So
So Johnny, when an idea comes to mind, and since because it sounds similar, where like I will have an idea, if a toy either came in or like right now I've been sitting on my like figure arts Spideys right now, my movie guys, because I have my Legends bag guys. I want to get all the Spideys messing around. So I know who I want to use. I've set up my 78 Dio. I sprinkled in all my little things. So then I'm gonna like build the scene in that way. Like, is it like did you have the Breaking Bad? Like you knew the Dio you wanted to use. You did the lighting. Like what is the process for you in that regard? Is it Dio, components, figures? Like what's your order when you're like building for your composition?
it flip flops a lot. Like those interchange a lot. Like sometimes one will be at the top, one will be at the bottom. I think in terms of the Breaking Bad one, I think it started off with like the atmosphere that kind of like pulling from the show and like what I remember of the show and the way that it kind of looked and like kind of how it looked specifically more so in the RV.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that you
And
nailed
so
that.
knew like okay, I'm like that was like the starting point in my head. But outside of that, for a while, I didn't have anything else. It was like I want to capture that vibe, but that was it for like days.
Mm.
And then once I brought them into the garage, that kind of ended up coming together. I was like thinking like what I mean I don't have the RV, but I'm like what can I make look enough like that, would fit enough to work, So then I figured that the Dio, and then it was like, okay, now like let's see the lighting. And I started messing with the lights, and then after I got that dialed in, it was like, okay, I already know these are the props, these are where they're going to be standing, and all that's getting dialed in. And then take a few like test shots, look at it, adjust the lighting, maybe a few times. I say few, it actually like a bunch of times. Until I get something that I'm like, okay, yeah, I like this more than the others.
Mm.
Then it's like, then the stuff like this starts to happen where I'm like, okay, I like everything. Like this could be good to go now, But let's see what else comes to mind now. Like,
Mhm.
I'm pretty content with where it's at currently, but I feel like maybe there's something else. Sometimes there's not, and sometimes there is.
Mhm.
So how much time has passed, like since, like from start to finish on that?
Let me think here.
Just that one particular photo, no, maybe not average. Like,
I feel like with that one, it was probably like 3, maybe 4 hours.
wow.
But it's not always the case. Like when I say it comes together, it felt like that in the
Yeah.
moment because
Mhm.
it's like when I'm in that mode and I'm like so locked in, it's like time doesn't exist anymore. That is
Right.
like the one time in my life where I'm like present, focused, lazy, like locked on, like any
Mhm.
outside worries, all that
Easier.
other crap is gone. Like it's
Yeah.
just like I'm in. That's where I want to be. I want to just, yeah, that's where I want to live, and that's like probably why I said like, oh, I get like, I feel weird if I don't create because it's like I'm chasing that feeling. It's like I want to be in that mode all the time.
Mhm.
I used to like before I did photos, so did any of this stuff. I used to ride BMX bikes like for like a long time,
What?
like probably like more than 15 years, and like something about that, like one thing that I really loved about that was like when you're learning a trick or you're trying a trick for a long time and then you land it, and the feeling of that is like one of the best feelings. And I get the same type of feeling from like the photo when I finally get everything dialed in and I take the photo and I'm content with the photo. Then like that's what I'm chasing, and I think that also enables me to be free in the sense of like when I post it on social media, if it bombs, I don't care because
Mhm.
I already fulfilled myself in the
Mhm.
process.
You already stuck that landing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if it, and sometimes like you know I get the response. I get the response that I felt when I took it. I'm like, ooh, I'm excited. And then people like I posted on Instagram and people are like, oh, like great shot. I'm like, that's cool. And other times I don't, and they're just it kind of bombs. And it's like over the years I've learned to kind of be understand that process, and they're like, but the best part already happened. The
Mhm.
rest is I controlled the part that I could control, and
Mhm.
that's the part that I love. I can't control social media or what people are going to say or do.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean, but we're human, so you do get caught up in stuff like that, and I'm not saying I don't at all, but like I've been able to kind of turn a corner like years ago to where like I feel so much more like free on Instagram, where it's like I'm not paying attention to likes. In fact, I have mine turned off. I've had it turned off for a while now. Um, yeah, none of that stuff really matters to me anymore. It's like I'm not saying I don't appreciate it. I do, but
Mhm.
I don't let it try not to let it affect me outside of.
You're focusing on the good and not on the negative at like ways that you can look at it. Like that's the best way to
great.
go about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Matt? Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say that like the likes don't really, like as Johnny said, like as long as you got the process done, that's the most fulfilling part. The process is the likes are the byproduct of it, right? It really shouldn't matter if how many likes you get.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a yeah. It shouldn't. It's tough though because it's like whether gauge do you have once you put it on social media, right? It's like
Mhm.
that is the gauge. Like that's why I'm like, oh, that photo took a dump, but it only took a dump in the sense of like the engagement. Like I don't think that photo sucks because of that. I still had fun setting it up, so I'm good. But in terms of like numbers and stuff, yeah, didn't do so great, but that's fine. Like
Yeah.
it's all good.
Well, they're killer shots. So that's
Yeah.
and again, there's no rhyme or reason to half of this stuff, like in terms of the social media-ness of what we do, Let's see, Shroomy. Ooh, is there a comic figure video game character that hasn't been done yet by any company that you would love to be made?
Man,
I know, it's always a tough question because so many good things have been created for us. And so many franchises. We're getting biker mice from Mars, you know, like it's nuts.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think it would be awesome to have like a fully articulated line of Sesame Street.
Oh, I'd be in.
Like I thought that for a while now. Like I'm a huge fan of Sesame Street, and even like a bigger fan of specifically Oscar the Grouch.
Nice.
I feel like I kind of identify with him in some ways.
I get that. Cookie Monster.
So I think it would be awesome to see something like that. You know, I could definitely with there's a number of companies out there I feel like could do it justice these days, and I do think a lot of the collector community would get behind it because it hasn't been done. I mean, Muppets have been done, and I feel like that has a pretty decent, you know, collector base behind it.
Oh yeah.
Muppets are awesome, but like Sesame Street is like something that a lot of us kind of grew up. There's like the nostalgia, like same with Muppets, like the nostalgia factor of it is like through the roof.
Dude, Johnny, I had such a blast when my kids were at the, you know, I guess 1 or 2, but getting to like sing the letter of the day and the number of the day, like I would love the new episodes up on Max.
And then you time out the clapping, you're like, I know
yeah.
this song. Yeah, totally get it.
So, yeah, I'm all about that. That's great.
I guess my mom said that my first words were Big Bird, not mom or dad. It's Big Bird. So that's
So I'm in my background's in analytics quite a bit, and so one of the things that I learned along the way is about early onset bias. Like when do you first develop a bias towards something? And you know, it's anecdotal because I find it fun. So one of the anecdotes that I've learned across the years is that your very first, for the majority of people, your very first bias is formed in color in your eyes. And the very first color that people gravitate toward is the color red. And ultimately, they associate the color red with Elmo and the increased popularity of that character because of just that. It's the very first color you develop in your eyes.
That's it. That is very interesting.
I wrote that on a jury duty thing. You know how it asks you, like, oh, can you be unbiased? I wrote all that. I got a jury duty. I got to tell you, it was a triumph.
You got off of jury duty?
Yeah. They were like, we don't want that guy.
Really? Interesting.
Well, I wrote a paragraph on like 2 lines.
Well, that's pretty good. You probably could have wrote anything maybe and just saw like 2 paragraphs like, no.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an honest answer. They should have asked if they wanted me to just show up.
This is a great question. So, Sarah Chris said, anyone else have a vision in their head of what Oscar the Grouch's house looks like in the trash can? He walks down some stairs, wherever he has to go.
Definitely fun to think about, right? You're like, what is? I mean, could just be garbage.
Isn't the lore that it's a portal into Grouchland? I think they developed that in like the 90s that he goes somewhere, like it's a portal.
It's way more fun than I was gonna be like, you know, like rotten apple cores and more.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing like a living room in the 70s, like that circular, like the little sunken in, that style. That's
like shag carpet, like
yeah. It's a artist. What's up, Sir Trevor?
Well,
I mean, the funniest version of that would be that, yeah, it's a TARDIS, and it's actually really very well organized and clean. He just
he's like a neat freak.
Opposite.
Oh yeah, I was picturing a very clean 70s living room. Like, oh, it'd be great. All right, Chris, what were you saying, buddy?
I was trying to segue.
Slide.
What kind of segue into your T-shirt or?
I don't know. There were so many just drops about lasers and everything like that. But
don't you worry, Johnny. Don't worry. Chris will be explaining his T-shirt. we're all rooting for it.
I'm sure we'll get there.
We're gonna get there.
Get
Laser
where?
focused. Laser focused, Chris.
Well, I'm super laser focused in getting into the TPC top 10. So here we go. So this is what we're talking about tonight. Let's go through the photos voted by you in the TPC community of the top 10 from last week. But just like every other show, we're not going to get there yet. But what's making you happy right now?
We really should move that first slide to way further into this deck.
Machu, start with you, buddy. What's making you happy right now? You had a stream earlier this evening, so that's I'm sure
Yes.
part of it.
Yes.
With J Shot between two Sentinels.
To
what's
take this
making you-
question very literally, I'm playing around with this Stitch,
Nice.
so that's making me pretty happy right now.
He's adorable. Did you?
So you just want to
did you
rub it
order
into
a second
everybody
one?
I ordered another one.
For
'Cause the joints are a little
$37,
loose.
you could have bought 10 of them.
Yeah, well, that and also the joints are kind of loose on this one. His head's a little floppy, so
Hmm.
I need a replacement.
Glad I got two.
Glad I got two.
I love how I was like, no chewing, get me one, and you bought two, and then I was like, I got an extra one. He's like, should I get an extra one? I was like, yeah, I'll just add yours to mine. And so the thought is, I will give you one of the two that I bought, and you would give me one of the two that you bought. Why don't we just keep the two that we bought?
Yeah.
How dare you?
So let's revise
We
that.
had plans, man. We had plans.
Oh, Johnny, what's making you happy, buddy?
Well, lately, I guess I've been creating a little bit more on a higher frequency, so that's been making me happy, keeping me sane. Yeah, my dog also.
Cool. Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Chris, what's making you happy, buddy?
I have a next slide to show you what's making me happy, but what's making you happy, Yimbo?
I mean outside because it's the toys. It's the toy stuff. Life in general. I'm just happy. I'm grateful. But here, I want to shout out
You grabbing a
toy
box?
company. I want to again. We always know the negative voices are the loudest, so I want to be a loud, positive voice. I recently in December got a NECA turtle van, and I had opened it up and I don't even know. I didn't even open up right away, but when I finally did on a stream, I was missing one of my cannons, and I emailed NECA. And they were absolutely fantastic. And it literally was just a 2 email exchange. And they sent me a replacement cannon. Because I said, everything else is perfect. I love this thing. I love this toy so much. But I haven't been shooting it because I felt like half a man. So now I'm a full boy again.
You're a real boy.
So thank you, NECA, for honoring and, just being, that was great. It was, I joked with some of my other turtle boys, like letting them know like the good news. And I think it was Cody, and I said, man, like the last couple of years, it feels like, I don't know. It just felt nice that like a person who said that they were going to do their job, did their job. And it just felt really good. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
That's
pretty awesome.
That is awesome. You should,
Yeah.
You should have DM'd them though from the beginning. Because they sent me, I DM'd them. They sent me a brand new turtle van for my missing cannon. So now I have two.
Oh.
Did I really?
No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Break my balls again. Yeah, you see,
I was gonna say you have the best life. I don't know. Hey, I'm missing a sticker. They sent me an entire new one.
Yeah, Johnny,
Man,
we've
new
got on
van.
this string right now where like Matt is it's just fallen into the toy good luckness, whereas like everything I open has like the smallest aggravation. Like, well, this thing is great, but the one cannon, it's just this.
Just watching the
So
happiest
weird.
man
We're
on
going
the
evil
internet, watching the happiest man on the internet get annoyed by something it can be entertaining, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
watching Machu fuel the fire is even more entertaining.
I'm sure.
It is
Oh.
disturbing to see sad Yimbo.
Oh
Or
man,
mad
that was
Yimbo.
this is this is why it stayed in the chat because I was spiraling hard that day.
Yeah, you were.
I can
showing
actually
what's-
with you, Yimbo, on the missing piece thing that just happened to me with something as well. Like the Omega Red figure I referenced earlier,
Yeah.
one of his shoulder pads.
No.
And like I didn't even the figure's so awesome, I didn't even notice it till like a day later. I was like looking, I'm like, wait a minute.
Something's off.
Man.
And then I'm like, but yeah, Mondo's gonna send me a replacement.
There you go. That's awesome. That's
Send you a
awesome.
whole new another one, so you have two of them, one without a shoulder pad, one with one.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's real. Actually,
Oh, there you go. All right.
Let's give you a new one.
They sometimes do that with their figures. They send you basically the base buck with the so you can assemble it again with whatever the missing piece is. It's a cool customer service piece.
Yeah.
No chewing. What's making you happy?
I finally got that smoke ninja to work, so I've been playing around with that all week.
Been digging
And,
those reels.
Yeah, and we're both Johnny, you and Machu chase the aspiration of like learning something technical and like nailing a good shot. I'm just chasing playtime. So it happened to me twice where I keep forgetting to like that I shouldn't inhale all this smoke. I'm playing with it for like 45 minutes. My office is just like all cloudy. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
this can't be good. But that's what's making me happy. I'm enjoying focusing on that for a little bit. And I also won this in a giveaway.
Nice.
It was great.
It's a good figure. I love the
I'm
figure.
actually on a little bit of a giveaway streak right now.
It's pretty awesome.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. Black Series, right?
Yeah. I'm really impressed by this one.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it's up quite a bit.
love that they they brought back the butterfly joints and they also gave you vertical hinges on the hands.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
very
Oh.
cool.
And the elbows.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
elbows are
upgraded,
pretty.
so-
It's still a single joint, but it gets a lot of range.
Like a deep cut one.
Yeah.
But like
Both hands vertical
that
joints. Like
cut
Yep.
in the eye.
there you go. Because sometimes it'd be like a horizontal and you're
Yeah, I hate that.
like
Like, why?
never. But that the busted helmet, that's sick. Like it looks good from
Yeah.
what I see here.
Yeah.
And it's cool
Wow.
that they can give Vader trigger fingers. That's a good idea.
It still has the trigger finger.
No. They took it away.
Oh,
But that's also a Black Series trend. It's like,
No,
oh,
I know.
Jedi.
Was that
I-
like the 500th Vader finally doesn't have a trigger finger?
Oh man. Well, hey, our boy Jace, Storybook Heroes, is in the chat. What's going on, Jace?
Nope. Nope.
We're just on making us happy. We're having special guest Sergeant Bananas in the house. So yeah, we're just been. No, it's all good, man. We're happy you're here,
Yeah.
buddy.
No,
If you
dude,
came for just the top 10, you're right on time.
you've seen the show, or you're early. You're early. Just
Or you're
top
early.
10.
This Vader still has trigger fingers on the left hand.
Oh, does it really?
Well, this one does. This is the Return of the Jedi one where his helmet comes off.
See, this one, they at least closed it off. So,
Oh, it's the same one. Yeah.
so this isn't a trigger one. This is more of like a Vader, almost like come here type.
Okay.
I want to choke you out.
The force choke, like
The force choke hand.
You separate it, it's a trigger. You close it a little bit. I'm
I feel
choking.
like they're just like riding that line though, where it's like if you pull that out, it's a trigger finger. It's just,
Oh yeah.
it's
Oh
so
yeah,
close, or it's
I could probably cut that.
Oh, sorry. No, we're on
It's
one.
okay. Hi.
Yimbo is making us happy.
You must
Aw.
make us happy right now.
That's right.
Well-
Wade Recreate just said, just scrolled a lot of Johnny's backlogs on IG and made me pretty happy. Serious question. Do you know how to take a bad photo, Johnny Goodness?
yes, for sure. Yes. Yeah, no, I definitely know how to take a bad photo.
Yeah.
Took a lot of bad ones before I took any good ones.
Hey, that's the whole thing. That's what we talk about here, right? You gotta
Sometimes you gotta
not
fail.
trying is failing. That's the only failing. Not
Can't
trying.
all be winners, right?
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
That's how you learn.
Like when I was in the dating scene. It's a numbers game, right, fellas?
Yes.
Did not have that. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
you know,
picked that
pick
on
up
the-
lines, you know, yada yada. I just say,
Yeah,
it's a numbers
let's start adding that into the show.
game. Oh boy! All right, Chris.
What's making me happy right now? Well, let me just start with I am very afraid of dolls. Like I hate Chucky, like I hate movies like Puppet Master, all that stuff. And my kids have American Girl dolls.
Oh,
One in particular, very freaky. And my wife learned this about me as our kids got older, and she decided to just um hide the doll in different places in the room where I just every single time if I see it I have to I jump. I'm like, oh god damn it. And it scares me every time. Well, now my kids are getting into it.
oh
and,
no!
and I need to show you what my kids just did today.
Oh, that's insane, Terry.
So I literally turned on the light, walked in there, and it scared the crap out of me. But it also made me really happy because the kids love scaring me. So I'm pretty sure this doll is going to be hid everywhere now. So that's what I'm happy about today.
I'm glad that's making you happy, Chris.
Also,
I mean,
also
isn't that
terrifying
thing
me.
isn't that thing freaky? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I mean, the hair's on the toilet. It's like,
Yeah,
oh
I know.
man, they didn't even wipe that before. I'm guessing.
That's like perfect though, right? Like perfectly placed. Like
Oh yeah, it's positioned very good.
good on
My
the
mo-
girls.
My mom, who has an affinity for toys, that you know, like, but she was just telling me last week how she's like, I tried to show your daughter my porcelain dolls because I have these on, and it's like she loves the porcelain dolls, and she has like the really ornate, you know, decorative, fancy stitched dresses. All three of her granddaughters will not have anything to do with them.
Is it
My-
Toy Story 4? Is that why?
They're like, no, my two older nieces, absolutely not.
That's just good to fear.
Yeah, my daughter, who's 4.5, like my mom goes, and there was like a new one in a box. It was like a $50 doll. Like I bought this so many years ago, and she just went, okay, thanks, Mimi, and just like I'm like, because I'm like, Mom, these dolls are like they're polarizing. It's definitely you love it or you just they scare the crap out of you.
I mean, I'm glad she got a thank you. My daughter would have like had like the wide eyes and then look around the room and slowly find her exit path.
Can we move the slide?
No, J-Shot. What are you looking at? This is actually the #1 photo for the top 10 of this week. So congratulations. All right, yeah, let's do this. We have our 100 figure challenge. I mean, is that what we're calling it, or just it's not even a challenge. It's
challenging.
It's the race to 100.
It's a race to 100.
Yep, that's true. It's a race to 100. So Johnny, one of the things that we did last year was that we foolishly tried to limit ourselves to 52 figures in the year. There's a bunch of cheat codes. Like if you sold figures, you got figures spots back. If you gave away figures, you got spots back. All this nonsense. This year, no cheat codes. We're playing it pure and simple. A lot of honor. It looks bad, but a lot of this is pre-orders from the previous year. I'm up to 22. This week I added what?
I see you have Revoltech Stitch in there.
Yes.
He should be 21 and 22.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna keep it as one.
Yeah.
You bought two.
Yeah, but it's the same character. It's the same exact product.
How many Spider-Mans do we have?
I know, but they have different barcodes.
Look who's starting with the loophole already.
Well, I mean, I agree with
participating. Phil, I'll get list. It's almost February.
So you're at 22.
Yeah, and so one of the ones I added, 23. I added Sentry, which I'm having a lot of fun with.
Yeah, I like that one. All right, Yimbo. Wow, really going strong.
This
That's
is
right.
you know that
He's mainly Alfred's on this list.
I'm the teacher that do his homework. So I'm still finishing my 23 list. That my last count. What did I tell you guys? I was up to 144. So I
Yeah.
still have months to go in 23. I don't know where what did we figure out? 25 or 30? I'm somewhere in that range for sure.
Okay, sure.
47.
And 47. How did you know that's what my number was?
Oh, you just changed it to a number. That's nice. That's nice. Good job. This is way
Wow.
easier to keep track of. You're just putting a number each week.
I'm like, honestly, I was
Honestly, I did
cut-
not know that.
I was cut and pasting my list on here. I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's like 3 slides. I'll just put the number in and then I'll tell you. Like I added Stitch. There were some Jada figures that I added. The 3 Mega Man figures that I forgot that
Oh.
I pre-ordered last year. And there were, come to think of it, I need to add the NECA Splinter, the Battle Raph, and the Leo that I bought back in November or whatever. So that puts me up at 50. So I'm halfway there, guys.
Even
Yeah,
50.
yeah, we create-
we're
it says
racing to
halfway there.
100.
It's January.
It's not in the end of January. It's
Well-
January 4th.
Here's the thing. I did highlight all of the figures that I bought like in January, and it's only 6. I've only bought 6 figures in January. So if that's any
But yeah,
consolation.
this will even out by April. You'll just be dangerously close, but you're on a good path.
Like going back, let's like just telling everyone these are also pre-orders from 2023. So these are
Right.
all pre-orders from 2023.
I don't know why you're defending it. You're winning the race.
Yeah.
That's true. I get the prize at the end, guys.
Yeah, you get to
All
Which
of
is
the
a-
toys.
buy 100 more toys.
Which is second Revlatech Stitch.
The winner gets Stitch.
Johnny, real quick, are you a toy mutilator in terms of customizing it and drilling holes or just any of the things? Do you get into any of
No.
that?
No, I mean, back in the day, I went through a phase when I was like using fireworks a lot, where
Mhm.
stuff would just inevitably get kind of burned a little bit.
Mhm.
But like, I had one specific stormtrooper that I used for like tests,
Okay.
and so I would be like, "Oh, I'm trying a new firework today," and I would literally just like put him in the fires, and then. But outside of that, no. These days they stay intact and
Got it.
complete. If they get, if I drop them or they break, I'm like,
If Toy Story were
Story.
real,
they have no,
wanna-
they have no choice.
if Toy Story were real, I want to hear the story of that one stormtrooper who's getting blown up all the time.
Oh my god. The support group
Like,
that
oh,
he
me
needs, right?
again. He's like dreading the 4th of July.
That time of year again.
But there's a twist at the end. He loves it.
All right. Well, let's get into some
Toy photos.
toy news. So Marvel, do you guys know what Crystar is? Like, I might be saying this wrong. Any of you?
I know it's an 80s comic book
Yeah.
I think Marvel put out, but I think it was its own toy line.
Yeah, something like that. So Marvel Legends is releasing this and everyone is going crazy. Actually, when I say everyone, I just read an article and they said people are going crazy for this. I haven't heard anything on IG about this at all. I just read it on a website. But I thought this was pretty cool and I thought this might catch Chewie's eye because he loves those translucent figures.
I do love random stuff like this as well. I mean, this is a feat that they made in Marvel Legends of a character that had its own toy line, but it was a loophole where they made a comic series about this character, and so that allowed them to produce this figure, 40 years later.
And Yimbo, I feel like this is a figure that can go in Yimbonia.
It would, but like no butterfly joints. I'm just saying. And it comes- come on, that looks like an old buck. Give me that.
Yeah, I agree. Probably the old.
It's
Can you give me a,
Bucky
renew
cat.
your vows for?
Oh,
for
it's
this
not
guy?
good enough for you?
No.
Martin Chris Star?
I don't even know who he is.
You both weren't even sure how to pronounce the name. Needs to have butterfly joints. He could be made out of ice or crystal.
By the way,
Or
Chris, we-
crystals. How about crystal?
yeah,
Either
like
one.
crystal meth. Walter White said,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
There you
oh,
go.
I could, there we go. That is a good one.
or blue Gatorade. It's,
Nice.
fully articulated blue Gatorade. There you go.
No butterfly joints there.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah.
By the way, I like the comment from Wade. We limit ourselves, followed by tempting enabler news. We do have to shuffle the show around our placement of things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. Let's think about that.
Or we keep it.
Right.
All right, let's go to the next bit of toy news. Superboy came out the other day. Mayfex. Who's getting this? Not you. I'm getting it.
I'm very tempted.
I'm definitely been
After
looking
watching
at
Toy
it.
Migos last night, I was like, I know I told you guys like, I don't know, I don't want to go backtrack all the Reign of Superman figures. Then I was like, you know what? They are still available, some of them.
Yeah.
Mm.
I have the black suit Superman, the solar suit Superman, Cyborg, Steel. I wanted Superboy for so long, and I'm on the fence on the Eradicator.
It's still available. It's like $60.
Well, it's not out yet, but I'm like, I just don't like that design. It just doesn't look great. And Eradicator was my least favorite character, but I feel like if I have to get it, I'll get it. But Superboy, my goodness.
Well, let's face it. You don't have to get it.
Yeah. You don't
That's
need
super-
it for like your
I'm gonna tell
display.
you right now though, if what happens if another figure that you want comes out like Tim Drake Robin, and you said like Chewy said like if there was a
I
Tim Drake
want
Robin, he would get Superboy. What happens if it's
Yeah.
hard to get Superboy?
Yeah. What if, Chewy?
What if?
Is this up your alley at all,
Guys,
Johnny?
God damn it. We got
Yeah,
class
Johnny, is
to
this
do.
something you get?
No, I don't think I'll get this one, but it looks cool. But yeah, not really my style.
Yeah. This wasn't like, were you like too young for the Death of Superman, Reign of Superman?
I never read Superman, so
Okay.
it's I'm like, what is this guy? Not,
Okay.
I have no context for it, so I'm like,
Fair.
Still like you, but okay.
I'm still gonna call you when I'm in the Bay
oh,
Area.
no, when you come out,
We're still gonna hang out, Johnny. All right, let's go to the next piece of news. Wow, so exciting that some of us got two.
So nice, have it twice.
Technically three.
Oh, you should buy.
That's how I'm going now.
Or
That's
Yimbo,
it.
you can just
Right
have
there.
one of mine. I mean, really, do I need two?
So it's 46 now.
You're just trying to
No, it's
shave points at this
50.
point.
it's 50 still because I didn't count it the first time.
Yeah, this is fantastic. This is supposed to, initially had 8 weeks ago. Pass. This is one I think everyone's excited to get this. The price was really reasonable, like extremely so. He had this for $37. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Yes, it's $37, but shipping's always going to be like $30, so it's really 60 something. So, but yeah,
If you
good
do
price.
that math, sure. But if you buy
I'm
two,
telling you, if you guys just put your orders together, then
usually do.
it'll save. You split the shipping.
yeah, like when I ordered 4 figures for me and Yimbo, 2 each,
Mhm.
the shipping was $31.
Oh, really? Okay. So,
Yeah.
because every time I put it together, it seems like it's as if I'm paying shipping for each individual figure.
See, that's how that was my experience with Nin Nin.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. But with Genki, I don't know. Maybe it was a one-time deal, but yeah, I got 4 figures shipped for $31.
Machu, do you feel that with Genki? Like,
It depends on the figure. So like some figures I'll ship it right away, and then a lot the others I'll just put it in my private warehouse.
and it's
And then-
still
Yeah.
it's still a discounted ship.
Yeah, it's still gonna be because a lot of the stuff on Genki they put on sale. So I really like shopping on Genki. And
Yeah,
then like
so do
I
I.
just I put it in my private warehouse, and then like I wait for more than one figure to come in. And usually I'll order one for myself, one for J-Shot, and then one for my sister. So I'll order 3 at once. So
Okay.
And then
Putting
I
that
usually
together-
take one that they say
Yeah.
no.
yeah. Or like this time I added you on for the Spider-Man.
Yes.
So.
Perfect.
So let's do a Toy Daddy's like warehouse, or like include Machu and J-Shot. Johnny,
Well,
if you
the-
want to join.
The problem is now like
What
we
type
have
of
to ship
warehouse
it
are
out
we doing?
separately.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So,
It's
maybe,
It's
gonna
not the
come up to
shipping.
the same
Yeah.
price.
so then we'll
Again,
just ship
the
it out
US,
to
it'll
you
cost
guys.
like $12 to just
He has
ship
to
anything.
ship. And then I'll just ship it to Johnny. Or no, I'll just give it to him when I hang out with him.
Maybe that's maybe.
Johnny, where when you buy your imports, is there a specific site that you use?
I used to use Ami Ami a lot.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the one that I would go to.
Yeah, I used to use I use them a lot. I'm a big Yankee man.
I got
so-
canceled by them though because I like canceled like more than one order, and they're like, your account's in jeopardy of being terminated, and they finally like were about that life, and they canceled my account.
They actually did it? Really?
That's why I can't. That's why I don't use Ami either.
And so like even to the point of like I went with a different email, but same address, and they're like, nope.
No way.
Wow.
I've canceled so much on them,
Huh.
and I still have not been canceled by them.
I mean, I did cancel quite a few, but then there was you know what I think the difference was is like I actually gave them a heads up one time, so maybe they don't pay attention to it if you're just doing it, but I like brought it to their attention that I was going to cancel it, and I did that more than once, and then they're like, this guy,
You brought it to their attention. You just didn't click the button.
yeah. I forget.
Oh.
I forget why I did that. Honestly, It was-
You did that twice?
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
never-
no, I let them know twice. Like there was an email back and forth email with someone 2 times. But the other times I never said anything. Kind of like what you're saying. I canceled a bunch before. Nothing ever happened. My account was still there, and then I did it twice. I spoke to someone twice, and it was like. Then I was on their radar. I think
Oh no.
fly
Yeah.
on the radar as long as you can.
So
It's just like keep
I'm
doing.
not canceling anything off Genki. I'm gonna keep my good standing with them.
yeah, Genki's smart though. You can't. There's no cancel button. You have to like email them.
You're committing.
Yeah, you are
Oh, yeah.
committing. You are committing.
They're,
That's
they're
not-
relatively quick too,
in
right?
terms of
When it comes-
shipping.
In terms of shipping, they're relatively quick, and they do give you a good price. Like I order from them a lot lately.
Yeah, I love DHL. Like
I
that's the
I
best
check
way
on
to go.
FedEx now.
I use FedEx. It's
Yeah.
usually a little cheaper. At least with Genki, it was like $3 or $4 cheaper.
Is that
And it's
fast?
usually like a day
A
faster.
day earlier. Yeah.
Interesting.
FedExes?
That's
Yeah.
gonna be my next question for you boys.
Never experienced that.
I've
DHL.
never experienced that. Yeah.
Wormhole, I swear, it's like
Yeah, DHL is like the next day.
yeah, it's wild.
Okay. Next bit of news.
YOLO.
YOLO Park with their AMK Pro Series. I don't even know what AMK stands for, but this is one of their taller Transformers. It's in that classic 80s style. This one also has light up eyes, and I think maybe the chest. I'm not quite sure, but this is one of those ones that have die cast. It's a model kit, but it's really it's a build a figure.
That one looks cool. I like that one. That one looks really cool.
It's awesome. I can't speak higher than I already do about Megatron.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You've only got me a couple times.
Did you not
Dodged
buy
that
it yet?
bullet. I've
Not
dodged it.
yet.
Oh,
Not yet.
okay.
It does look so good though.
Let's get into our secret hashtag, which is secret hashtag this month has been TPC_Royal Rumble.
Which I'm
Anticipating-
planning on doing.
Big
No,
event.
no,
I am
Jimbo's
planning.
bailing.
I'm
Jimbo's
planning
bailing
on doing it.
us.
We're gonna do it. So, Johnny, you watch wrestling?
No, I don't actually.
That's okay. That's okay. Then I won't ask you anymore. Again, it's very like you're into it or you're not. I get it.
Wade Trade says AMK is articulated model kit.
Oh,
thanks, Wade Trade.
Wade. Here we
My
go.
favorite thing about the chat is when they inform me of things that I don't know. I really actually do appreciate it. It's
Yeah,
helpful.
I had no idea. So
That
this
seems
was,
like it should be right.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So this secret hashtag was my pick. Rupert89, love his stuff, great account, and just he killed it with this that new Mezco Spidey. The fact that it just looks amazing, and
Can't
like
wait.
There, I'm not. Are you getting them? You're getting them.
Yeah,
right?
I got like it charged like what 2 months ago. Still haven't gotten it yet, but can't wait for it. Getting charged today for Green Goblin, so that's gonna be shipping out soon for people.
Hmm.
So
That was mine?
can't wait for this one. This
2
will be
months,
great.
huh? Jeez.
Nah, it's like been a month actually, but still.
It looks good. It looks good. This one was my pick. It's a photo by Novan Yuta. Going with that. This is the 3-0 Rodimus Prime.
Yeah, that one
Top
was
score.
good. And this was mine by Salvage Cargo. This is Invisible Woman. I believe this is the
Diamond Select?
Diamond Select.
Well, based on the head sculpt.
Yeah, looks great.
Can I? The Diamond Selector 7-inch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could use that on my Mezco. That head
Mm.
sculpt.
Oh, that
that head sculpt looks great.
probably.
Maybe
I would
it
think
might
so.
be a little big, but
Right.
maybe.
What
It's worth a
scale is
shot.
Mezco? Is that's not 7-inch?
It's 6-inch, but
Yeah,
it's like a
6-inch.
thick. They're like thick
Yeah,
Mm.
thick boys.
with 2 C's.
Yes.
So participate this month. One final. This might be the last week, right? We're using this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we'll-
doing
we'll-
monthly hashtags. We'll pick another one for next month.
Road to WrestleMania.
Elimination Chamber. I'm just
Oh.
kidding. No, we'll pick
Wrestling ones all
something
year.
non-wrestling.
So as always, everybody, this particular hashtag, just as a reminder, is the one that your toy daddies sort through each week to pick our features. So don't forget, you can not only tag us, but also the Toy Daddies account. That's been making it very easy for us to go and like look at the tagged section of that. That's really what it's there for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to help us with organizing.
All right. I think we can finally get into the top 10 for this week. Nope. Sorry. We're going to do features. Sergeant Bananas. Johnny gave me some features of accounts that he wants to talk about. Let's start with the first one.
Avenant.
Avenant.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with his work, but for me, when I was kind of like in the early days of doing toy photography, he was the guy. His lighting on stuff inspired me. Like he was the guy that I saw his work, and I found myself going back to his photos and like kind of asking, like, why does this look so good? What is it about his work? And he's like a master of lighting, someone that, I mean, still inspires me to this day. He actually published a book called Small Scenes from a Big Galaxy. Actually, awesome.
Cool.
Oh,
Awesome. He's actually noted as like the pioneer of doing like snow/blizzard effects with Legos. Like I think he even like worked like with some of the Lego movie directors or something. Like,
Oh wow.
he's like amazing. Really, really good photographer. He's been doing it forever too, like a really long time. Long before I was around. Yeah. Yep.
Avenant is an OG, says Trevor.
So if you're not familiar with his work, definitely check out his page. He's the man. His work is great.
Yeah.
Well, look at that one. That was cool. Oh wow,
Yeah.
look at that. Jeez.
His lighting, and then also the atmosphere of his work, is
Mhm.
like the atmosphere that he was able to create with his photos as well, and then like his kind of storytelling ability.
Oh jeez. Wow, look at that one. That's cool.
So cool.
Well, let's go to your next one. Oh, what? I gotta get the thing. Ex-Captain Chaos.
Captain Chaos. Yeah. So he's one of the earliest people that I remember seeing on Instagram doing toy photography when I started. He was like super inspirational to my work. His work with like practical effects, like a lot of the like, I mean, he's primarily like a Star Wars guy, so you'd see a lot of like Stormtrooper with like the dust and debris and stuff. Like he was literally the first person I saw doing that. Not saying that he created it per se, but he was the first person I ever saw do it, and he was doing it really well, and just inspired the heck out of me with that work. And his like use of natural lighting and like his choice of like outdoor environments, just like paired with that, were just great.
Mhm.
A lot of people know about him. He's not as active these days, but he's someone that was around before I was, and he's sick.
Wow.
It's gorgeous.
Ooh,
Gorgeous
that's
work.
going. Ooh, yeah. That's cool.
His work is awesome. It's kind of like makes me think back to the days of like shooting outdoors only, and like it was kind of like a more simple time. Like nowadays, like it's like the dial, the lighting, all this other stuff, which is great too. But when I look at his work, it's for me, it's timeless. Like it looks like a lot of these are pretty old, but it looks great now.
Yeah.
Not a lot. I mean, you can't say that for all types of photos that like stand the test of time. His work with like outdoor, like Star Wars photos, like they're timeless to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
this one is so cool. Wow. Trevor says Matt's a great dude. He lives right near me, but never met him.
Trevor, reach out. We'll meet. Come on, bring him to a toy show.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one and final one.
All right.
Mr. Lee.
Sure, most people probably familiar with him.
Yeah.
So like the two other choices or guys, maybe I kind of had a feeling most maybe wouldn't necessarily know who they are, but I think everyone knows Mr. Lee. Again, the theme of lighting. His lighting is something that really stands out to me in his work, and also like the simplicity of his work, and I mean that in a good way. Like he's someone like if you look, it's a simple backdrop, and it's just the lighting that does the storytelling for him. Posing as well, it is not as easy as you might think to do a subtle, like a neutral vanilla pose, to do it well, and he does it very well. He highlights the sculpt of the characters really nicely. It's like he makes it look so easy that it looks like it'd be easy to do, but it is not easy to do.
I didn't realize this would stand well with the McFarlanes. But they do.
Oh yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miguel's a big boy.
Like I look at his work and I'm like, I would like to take a photo like that. Like it's and I mean this in a good way. It's simple in the approach or the thought of it. Like, okay, I'm going to take a photo of Hellboy here.
Mhm.
He makes it look so good though.
Right.
And it's also a good, it's a good nod to like for people that are like starting out and maybe relatively new to toy photography, that you don't necessarily need a bunch of dioramas and all these other things to create great work.
Mhm.
I think he does have some dioramas, but like this is his style. Like he's created a style. I mean, I see.
You know it's him.
Yeah.
What's that?
You know it's him when you're scrolling down.
Yeah. And he's inspired so many people now. It's like you see a lot of other photos like his now. Like it's like you can kind of coin it like the Mr. Lee style.
Right.
So
Yeah, but again, it's like you said, like it's still very difficult to tackle what he does. So you can tell when it's the original, like when it's his work, or someone working on their own style but pulling from his inspiration. Like he is, yeah.
that's
He has the subtleness where
Wow.
his stuff just jumps out. Yeah, it's true.
Jeez.
Yeah, his work is great. So
What's up, Henrock?
what's up, man?
That's awesome.
Yeah, so those are the accounts I chose. Kind of some similar reasons, some different reasons, but yeah, they're all great.
There was the Batman. We were talking about that before the stream earlier today. Was the Batman animated head sculpts that Mr. Lee had a part in helping bring to fruition? You know, like
Which yes,
oh,
That's awesome.
Oh, you got it too?
yeah,
ooh.
I got one. Yeah,
Oh boy.
Oh, that's cool.
I messaged them asking because I wanted to get an order in.
I think this is
They-
like an early sample that Mr. Lee was kind enough to send over.
Nice.
Oh wow.
In Drones Custom.
Mhm.
Yeah, I hit up Drones Customs. Yeah,
This is the Mafex New Adventures Batman, and it looks like it changes the figure with just the head. It's wild how much
yeah.
it looks. It's like, damn.
It looks wow.
So yeah, this is marinating on my desk right now. So when the time comes,
And what's
the idea comes, there we go.
yeah, well, dude, you have what's been so tempting for all of us was it 3 different sets of eyes, 10 different magnetic mouthpieces. Like it's a combination.
Right, yeah.
I mean, you can math the math, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Also, it's like with the figure, like you've even mentioned it before. Like when you get a different head sculpt for a figure, it can like make it so much better.
Yeah,
right?
well, like
Like-
Henrock in the Revolta cap, like
Right.
that completely changed the look of that figure.
That Batman, that Mafex Batman, I have that. It's been sitting in a box. It's just like I didn't find it like that appealing to me to shoot. But like I feel like once you saw that on that, once you saw those head sculpts on that figure, I'm like, oh man, I gotta get it. Even though if it's like it's a Mafex, it can articulate, but it doesn't need to because you're articulating with the face.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know. It's tempting.
Yeah. And that's,
Let's do it, Yimbo.
you see that a lot in Mr. Lee's work, a lot of the custom sculpts and stuff. And man, he's got some amazing head sculpts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another fun progression. Again, wherever you guys are and at home, on your toy journeys, we're just I know for what I'll speak for myself, just starting to get into the custom head sculpts in the last couple months. But it's neat. It's neat. Definitely a whole nother rabbit hole to fall down.
Expensive.
And expensive.
It can kind of give a figure a new life that you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Like that Superman, that Revoltex Superman that I've been sitting on for like a year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I finally, I was like, let me try the Mezco heads on this, and it worked.
Really
And
well.
I was like, oh man, I couldn't stop playing with it.
I just got this Spidey head from Tattoo Fet, and it's super cool looking.
Nice
Ooh, oh wow.
for the SHF.
Yeah, totally elevates the figure in my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
Johnny, are you really big into practice posing and everything with your figures?
Yes. I'm super big on posing and having it look natural and correct. That's a huge part. I think if I was to recommend 2 things to someone to work on in photos or try and nail, it's if you can, and it's really a perfect example of this, lighting, posing. Those 2 things, if you have those 2 things really strong in your photo, it will be good. You don't have to care about the character or whatever, but you can appreciate okay, the pose looks great, and the lighting will help it stand out on its own. It'll stop you when you're scrolling. You're like, oh, what's that? Then you start to look at the other things. So
Mhm.
Posing is like it's so important for telling the story. It brings it, brings them to life, brings the character to life.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be dynamic or subtle, like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt, is Bat digging out, digging in his utility belt right now?
Oh.
He's doing the self checkout at Target. That was such a great joke. That's a Matt joke for the record. I'm just.
Self checkout. Where's my card?
Yep.
Where's the bat card?
What a great cape. Wow. All right, now, everyone, we can get into the top 10.
Number 10.
I like the bear when the robot voice didn't work. I might remove it so Yimbo can say the
Do it.
numbers.
And Lancey, path me are.
There you go. Yeah,
So,
just do that.
we are.
All right,
Johnny,
number
do you want
10.
to start?
Sure. So what? Just say some words.
Say some
words,
gonna-
some
we
nice
need to take
words.
a- yeah.
Words. All right. So yeah, you got Superman here. He's like in space. You got the Earth behind him. That's smart environment choice for him. And then you got the flowing cape as he's just moving through space. Yeah, it looks cool. That's the is that the
That's the Mezco.
Yeah, the Mezco.
the second release? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good figure. Yeah, I'm super. Again, talking about posing, that really great posing. I could say what frustrates me about that toy, and unless I have to talk to Matt off stream, but like I still can't get some of my Mezcos to like ankle down, like in a flight pose. Is that just because of the pegs that they use?
What do you mean?
Like my Mezco Superman, like his ankle, his foot won't go all the way down unless I'm just like I'm afraid to. It's stuck.
Mine do.
They do, so maybe something's up.
Hit it with like some like hot water or something. Loosen it
Yeah,
up.
okay. I think I've just been super scared because I once dropped a vapor and I broke the peg of his
Yeah.
foot, and so now, yeah, I just any
Look,
kind of
I'm gonna tell you right now. If you want to play around with that Superman, go all out. I'm not even. I keep that Superman in the box. Like
Okay.
I just use the heads. If you break that Superman,
all right,
you got
fair. Thank
I
you,
want to
Matthew.
see some
All
good posing
right,
from
okay,
you.
all right.
He's telling you to drill a hole in the back.
Yeah, I guess so. All right.
Do it.
All but sweat.
I
Drill that
mean,
hole.
Kill him.
I mean, you could just drill it into the figure itself and then put the suit over it, you know.
True.
Oh,
True.
Oh my gosh.
Do you guys think that's a globe? Do you think that's practical or digital backdrop?
I think
I'm gonna
that's
blow
a
this up on
globe.
my TV.
You can kind of see the top little.
Right, but like it's
Oh yeah.
it's so low. Like it's just now me just studying the picture where I'm like, is that a practical?
I like
globe
it
back
better
there?
that it's a practical globe.
Same.
That like
I
it's
do-
in someone's like office or classroom.
I do like it better that it's a practical globe too, and also like the pose on Superman himself is really good. Like he's just flying in space. The
Hmm.
only nitpick I have is the cape.
Cape.
You have to pose the cape a little bit to match like the amount of effort you put onto the pose, right?
Mhm.
Because it looks like the cape is just leaning on his arm.
I'm going to throw out Toysology. It's an account that we've talked
That's
to.
exactly what I
highlight-
was trying to lead into.
There you go. But like they've just put out a post again. Great posing tutorials. I mean, it's been so cool to see that account just like blow up. Did a cape one. Did the cape. Focused on Superman and Batman. Excellent advice, especially for Superman. So
Here's some other excellent advice for you, Yimbo. Moisture Mezco.
no, never. How dare you?
Dare you.
Oyster Mezcos. Where's that? What is that from?
Tonight.
Just
You
now.
can change it to AMW. All mess goes wet.
Oh
that's
no.
Well, hey guys, I got some answers. Hi, Chris. It's a pleasure to talk to you around here. When I prepare the photo of Superman with a globe in the back,
Nice.
I wanted to emphasize how he is above the earth, above humanity. He literally is hope. We all need true hope. The problem is that Superman does not exist in real life. but there is an inexhaustible source of hope that can save us. Like Jesus is our super. My happiness with the community is that I have made great friends who vibrate our victories and help us in the defeats. It's worth a lot, mainly in the part where all the photos I take are with my daughters. Oh, that's really nice. So everyone here at home has fun. That's super nice. As a toy daddy, I really do appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations, Alicio. Let's go to number
9.
Wow. You know what? All I needed to do was just reboot my computer. That's why this is working.
All that time you never turned
Months
off your
upon
computer?
months, Christopher.
Yeah.
That's
I
like
reboot
most
my computer
people
every
23.
stream.
Really?
Well,
Every
It
stream.
Yes,
I
every
reboot it.
single
That's the only
one.
way to avoid that noise thing that Machu has.
goes the noise and freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's surprising. Like you're still going strong at least.
I froze earlier today, so hopefully I'm still going strong from that.
Oh, Wesley K. I think that's spelled wrong. Sorry, buddy.
Oh yeah, it was Wesley. Man, Wesley killed this one too. Loving that Spidey pose.
So good. I love the background too.
Yeah, good environment for it. Like makes sense. You know, it's cool that it's at night.
Mhm.
Being sitting on the edge of a rooftop or something. The one thing I would say though is the hand that's on his knee. I would have switched that to like a fisted hand or just more of a neutral. Had it hanging over like that looks more natural. It looks a little unnatural, like he's like that's a wall crawling hand. It just my brain is like, but
Mm-hmm.
it's good.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those things too that in talking with you, Johnny, Mitch last week, and just all anybody else who's been killing it for so long. It's like always remembering that final scan through of like the smallest little things, like hands and feet placement, or like belt buckle or sash or something. But it's like those little things that you might forget, but right before you really go to set up, it's like check all of those things one last time. Like I don't know. That's something I try to remind myself constantly, like before I actually start hitting that shutter.
Yeah. Well, Wesley has some answers. Thanks. Always fun when I can catch the show. I wanted to take a nice shot of one of the calm moments. Spider-Man is taking a second to sit down and just look over the city and contemplate his life. I used my phone to take the photo and then edit out the background. What are you liking about in the toy community right now? The supportiveness of the community always makes me happy. One of the rare online communities with far more positive things to say than negative when it comes to other people's work. That and Laserman.
You did
Is it time?
Johnny,
Yes.
did you just ask what Laserman was?
Guys, my DoorDash arrived. I'm
My mouth is
my
closed.
queue.
I
What?
think
Hello?
Very,
Macho? What?
very timely, Machu.
My DoorDash arrived. That's my queue.
all right, man.
Hey.
See you later.
See you,
See you later.
Macho.
It's been fun.
But Macho, you're gonna miss Laserman.
Because I got like chicken nuggets more. Sorry, I'm out.
No, I won't go into it now, but I will.
No. Okay.
What?
All
I
right,
will.
Chris. No, I want. We generally what this is. We all look forward to it.
True.
Building up the anticipation, I think.
All right, we'll keep building.
All right,
We'll keep
we
building.
still got some numbers left.
Yeah, we got some numbers. We're good. Wesley K, though. Thank you.
Congrats, fantastic photo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's move. Oh, sorry. Here we go to
Number 8.
Jeremazing, a big kid now. I love that name. And I believe he's in the chat.
Yeah,
That's a really good name. Yeah, you're
it is
amazing.
an awesome name.
You're amazing. You're an amazing big kid now. Yeah, that's really good.
No chewing?
Oh, it's a fantastic shot. I love the single light and the smash through. It's a really cool effect.
Yeah, that is cool.
I
I
really
wonder if
like.
that's like a homemade dio or something.
well,
It might
hopefully
be.
we'll find
Might
out.
be.
I'm
Yeah.
really liking the editing of the glass shards.
Yeah.
Just because, like John, like you're all practical, right? That's with your work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Outside
So
of, like glowing eyes or something. But
yeah. No, so like whenever I see somebody that can pull off something clean, in a digital sense, I'm always like, oh, that's so neat because, like, again, it's out of my skill set. But
I remember when I first started in toy photography, I used to see a lot more shots like this where they add in the digital glass. But
Mhm.
it's nice to see again.
yeah,
it looks like some of that's practical though, right? Like it's like a mixture of like digital, right?
Yeah.
Like some of the smaller pieces are like added in post or something, but like the actual window, maybe that's real.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
that's neat.
I'm seeing it like super small on my screen, so I'm like trying to see if I can tell. But no, it's definitely a fun, cool idea too, having blast through there. Because
Yeah.
escaping.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, wasn't that was in the book too, right? Well, like, didn't he have to like escape from the big tower at one point? Last Ronin.
I
I'm
think
trying
so.
to think of that. Like, at one point, like early on, I think it was like right in the beginning. Like the whole premise at the beginning was him
It's been a
attacking.
while since I read it.
I know.
I don't
read
think it was
now
an
it's like a
escape.
handful
I
of
think
months
it
ago.
was a botch that like
A
he was
botch,
storming
yeah.
the cat. He was storming
Right.
the castle.
Right.
And he, I think that there was a bigger, some lieutenant that knocked him over.
Right. Okay.
And,
Either way, very cool shot. Do we have answers from Jeremazing a big kid?
Yeah.
Good name.
Yeah, we do. I'm relatively new to the toy community. Had the thought of doing toy photography early last year and only really got into it around September. So for my pick, I want to try something new and push myself for the Sir Dork Challenge this month, which is themed jumping. I decided that I was going to try my first work at doing a dio. Yes, he did. He made this. I also landed on it because it was my first dio. I was going to use the first figure I purchased for the intention of this hobby. So I drew inspiration for one of the covers of The Last Ronin, which had the last Ronin jumping out of a window. You guys all called it. I created the wall out of XPS foam and a foam cutter to make the circle. Then I placed a ring light into the circle along with a cube light at the bottom, giving that yellow goldish glow. What do you love about the toy community right now? Honestly, it's just as I'm diving into this hobby, it felt kind of weird being in my 40s taking out toys to take photos. Really? Weird.
you're in good company, man.
You found your people.
here.
One of us. One of us.
You just
I mean,
described
I'm not quite in my 40s like some of the folks on the stream, but
yeah, 50s is hard for no chewing. So, but seeing the love,
that's right. I look spectacular.
you look great for 50. But seeing the love and outpouring has given me confidence, which has allowed me to take things to new heights. Just as this past Saturday, I was taking photos in the park and people stopped by, very interested in what I was doing, and followed my Instagram account right on the spot. That is a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what is a great feeling? Making the top 10. Congratulations. You're amazing and big kid now.
Number 7.
G Malda.
Friend of the show, G Balder. Amazing meeting him in person at Legion's Con.
That was fun. That was a oh shit moment for me.
I'm just realizing that this is the figure. Who have I been seeing? Head swaps with these female figures, but with like, I think it was a Marvel head or Rogue.
Oh, it was April O'Neil.
April
A lot of people have been
O'Neil.
using April O'Neil.
Hey, yeah. Who did that one? Was that Ratatouille?
There's a lot of people doing that. It works perfectly. I almost want
Yeah.
these figures just for that as well.
Man,
Pretty
it's
awesome.
very cool. John, did you ever get any of those third-party ones, like the Shining or the Forrest Gump or any of those?
I have that exact figure actually. I have both of them.
Nice.
The running one and that guy and that one.
Oh, cool.
So are they everything like in the pictures? They always look really great. They're obviously more in like a cartoony sense, but like obviously you own them, so like you've been happy with them. Like they were good pickups.
They're pretty solid. Third party can be hit or miss. I don't know if you've experienced that before, but sometimes they're like phenomenal, and other times it's like. But what's the Bob Toys, I believe, is the name of the company.
Yeah.
Pretty solid. Yeah, they're fun, and they actually put the swoosh on his shoes.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Or you did? Wait, you put it on, or they put it on?
It comes like that. Yeah, they did it. I mean, third party, they're not paying.
Yeah.
They're not. We're not gonna make big enough splash for Nike to take notice of this and come after us.
Yeah.
Because that's why you see, like, even with Hot Toys and like the Miles Morales, like he doesn't have Jordans on.
Right.
This is a license, so they would have to
Yeah.
pay a fee to Jordan, which is probably not cheap.
Right. Which is so funny because you think like that's just like they obviously licensed it for the movie, but then like how the license in the different forms of media and thing, that's just so fascinating. That business side of this stuff.
I'm guessing the movie had a way bigger budget to play with than Hot Toys is obviously pretty well known, pretty big in their own right. But yeah, I don't know. Might be one of those things like, I don't want to pay like $1 million.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Sentinel putting out that Miles. Like, I get it now. Sentinel, yeah. We can paint on our swoosh if we want. It's okay.
Yeah. That's like one of the things I've learned, like, working at a toy company is like, oh, licensing can like make or break certain things easily.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have answers from?
Yes, we do.
Balder?
G. Balder responded saying the story behind the photo, given that these three fellows are veterans, I was wondering the discussions they will have if they met in the park. But of course, some enemies are also lurking in the dark. Okay. And he's saying that we have Bob Toys Forest, Tunshi Studio Metal Slug figures, a dry bonsai, a Digirama background, and custom floor and McDonald's lunch by me. So he made some of the components. And for what's making him happy in the toy community right now, that Sequential Plastic is back.
Oh, that's nice.
There you go.
That's
Very nice.
I think I'm just hearing the description. For like, I'm not trying to change the show. I'm like, I like hearing what they have to say about their photo before anything is said. It's cool to hear from them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I didn't even realize that there is a soldier back in between Forrest and the middle female, like right through the bench. He's creeping up on her, or creeping up on them.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. Like something like evil lurks.
What's he looking at? But it's focusing on there.
Yeah, well, it's got the facial expression. I think we all know.
Oh man, I didn't even hit that.
That evil lurks. He told us.
I did not pick. Yeah, I was like, oh, is there something in the background that's lurking around them?
Yep.
Wow.
I would bet he's not looking at food.
Yeah. Well, I'm certainly looking more at that McDonald's box, that Big Mac box. That is really awesome, G-Ball.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
The burger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Great job, G-Balda.
Another great photo. Great account, guys. Again, we've celebrated his photos on here before. Go check him out. Go check him out. Give him a follow. All that good stuff.
Number 6.
Ooh,
Hey, there's Jace.
there's Jace.
Storybook Heroes.
Oh, and speaking of diorama pieces, we have Grime City in the house.
Hey. All right.
That phone booth.
Speaking of the phone booth.
Finally.
Johnny, do you think it's cool that I have that phone booth and it has your stickers on it in my house, and this is our first time getting to like talk to each other? Isn't that pretty cool?
No, it is cool.
Are you happy about that, Johnny?
That's
Be
awesome.
honest.
That's
Chris, he's no selling both of us now.
Sorry. I'll hang out with you and Sergeant Bananas. Phone booth stickers in the Bay Area.
But you won't hang out with Johnny when you come.
Oh, Johnny, that really though, like I thought that like when that came in and I realized that, I thought that was the coolest thing ever, man. Like that's so awesome.
I have his first phone booth, not the actual booth, but the other, not the enclosed one. Like I think it's the first generation, and he put those on there. I don't remember if he told me before. He probably did. Now that I'm thinking back, but I was like, oh dang, that's crazy. But I thought that it was just like a one-off thing, maybe a cool like thing he did.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've seen now in other photos like, hey, I'm in that photo in a way.
Yeah. I was gonna tag you in what like as soon as I took like because right now I've used it in some shots. I mean, like I love photographing that thing.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get a closer. Like one of my goals again when that came in and I noticed that I'm like, oh, one of these days I'm gonna take like a close up. Like Toy Mirth did one recently where it was just like the phone booth itself, but I wanted like a close up on. Look at this sticker. This is awesome. This is so cool. And then I started looking around because he started working with Jules, Lost in Translation too. I'm like, is there a sticker on here? I'm like, oh, we gotta load these up.
Yeah, that's the mission.
Yeah, load them up, just like in real life. How I collect everybody's like brand stickers, put them on everything.
And his work is phenomenal. Like the quality is just so nice, like top notch.
So true. Yeah.
And this picture, Jace, is not only showcasing how awesome the phone booth is, but just in general, again, with the story that he's built here. Yeah. I feel like the foot soldier, he's about to get clapped in the face with the
yeah, like having the phone in hand, like you could. That's such a like a Raph personality, like something he would do. It's like like.
But no, he's grabbing. It's like this is for you.
Yeah,
like, smashes him. Oh yeah, and Jace's world of dioramas, like his city blocks is just unbeatable.
Great job.
I love Mikey up there above too. Just I don't know if he's about to jump down or if he's looking. He's getting their backs, getting the brothers' backs, kind of.
Just being goofy.
Yeah.
Probably tripped. Like, oh, I'm gonna come help.
Ooh, so we got some comments. So from Jay, TMNT 1987, he said, Jason and I actually collabed on this shot. Excellent. And Grime City, thank you guys. And yes, Storybook Heroes always kills it. Always excited to see his posts. Hell yeah, man. Oh yeah, and Jay TMNT said I used the Grime phone and he used the booth. Oh, that's great. Nice. That's a great idea. I love those. That's another collab thing that as a community we should try to bring back. I loved seeing a couple guys did it recently, but yeah, like taking one concept and like dividing it into two like scenes, you know what I mean? But you combine into one full image. I don't know. I remember when that collab feature came out, like I tried doing it, but like I was seeing people try and do, I don't know. That was a neat one. Anything to spur on some creativity. That's all.
Any answers for
some answers? And he said, for the story, no real story other than the Foot Clan getting a beat down. Wanted to do a big wide shot of all of them with dials for depth. Had a blast with the setup. And for what's making them happy in the toy community, everyone makes me happy. Having cool friends that do this makes me happy. And I'm happy to be a part of this art.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. You're the man, Jace. Keep up the great work, buddy. Congratulations on making that top 10.
Number 5.
G Prime T. Did I say that right? G Prime dot T.
I think so. Unless it's G Prime T.
Oh man.
So I think I nominated this one. I loved this, and honestly, just thinking about Chewie's newfound love of the Smoke Ninja, like I thought this is pretty relevant right now. I just love how Hulk is just leaping out of the smoke, out of that alleyway, and it looks like Cap is like egging him on to come over here. So, but yeah, great use of the smoke in this one. Really, it just it's like another character in the photo.
Yeah. You know what? I would love to have also seen, and it could be on the original post. I got to go back and check. But even just another, because it's a alleyway, so you have the framing already happening with the buildings. I would have loved to see kind of like either, I don't want to say over the shoulder, but more of like an under the shield shot where you're looking up at Hulk, framed by the building.
He's coming out of the smoke.
Yeah, just to see that intensity and with the smoke itself. I mean, again, this is a great shot and number 5, so this is no knocking on it. But like, I would just from this image, I would love to see that angle and what that would have looked like.
Yeah, heel Yimbo.
People steal chairs. Come on, I just said I would like to see a different angle.
Why do I get
we didn't
the
insult
like,
the guy.
hashtag that you guys have? Heel Yimbo.
Oh, that's a good one for the month of February.
The challenge for the month, if people want to do so. Otherwise, it's just letters. But you could take any figure that kind of looks like Yimbo, which a lot of figures kind of look like Yimbo.
Which is all the figures.
All the figures with the beards
very true.
looks like Yimbo, and have that figure do heel stuff.
Speaking of
White, does he have a beard with brown hair? It's me.
Speaking of figures that kind of represent us, Chewy, like Amadeus Cho right here, right?
That's right.
I'll put you in here too, Johnny. You're an Amadeus Cho, so
That's a handsome Hulk.
Looks just like me.
I love this Hulk.
Look at Beefcake
What
Chewy.
Hulk is that?
Amadeus Cho. All totally awesome Hulk. Pretty
Yeah,
cool,
at
right?
some point Amadeus becomes a Hulk.
Yeah.
I have to do some research on that character, but that figure does look amazing. So I'm happy you guys have.
Basically, Asian Hulk, okay?
Yeah. Faux Hawk Hulk.
Faux Hulk.
Hulk.
Yeah, it's awesome figure. I love that one. Great one.
We do not have answers from G Prime T, and that's okay. If the photographer wants to come back and answer some questions later on, we'll happily spotlight that at a later show.
Yeah, definitely. Here we go.
Hey, Rad Toyologist. Johnny, why don't you kick things off? This is right in your wheelhouse, literally. With it just feels like this is right up your alley.
So this is perfect for their relationship of Leo and Raph. Like they're always butting heads, and then inevitably they actually fight. So it's perfect storytelling here, and the face sculpts are great. Like, it's funny, like that Leo one. I've wanted to shoot it, but I never really had a great idea for it. But this is perfect here.
Yeah,
having him like, and then it's cool. He's got the blue boxing gloves, the red for Raph, and then the like sweat and spit flying off of him.
Yep.
Great work.
Man. And again, great choice too with like, I'm going to blow this up real quick, but it doesn't look like the crowd's blacked out except for like the spotlight that would be on like a boxing match, like so cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, I probably have the answers. Was there? I just was seeing if there was anything else that you guys wanted to
Great
say.
trade,
Sorry.
so funny. Real sweat. Practical sweat. Good
Hashtag.
job. Yeah, this is a cool photo. I wanted to know where Ratoriologist got the boxing gloves.
They're like
Is it super action stuff?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it part of the super action stuff?
Oh,
might be. Looks like the red gloves might be from Balrog. The story.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Do you collect the
Interesting.
Storm Street Fighters?
I pick and choose. I'm more so like I'm sort of all in on Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
I'm a bigger Street Fighter fan though over Mortal Kombat. But I think what Jada's doing with Street Fighter is like phenomenal in the price point.
I know.
But I do have that ball. The Balrog is the last Storm Street Fighter figure I've bought because he's like my favorite character in Street Fighter.
You couldn't have gone wrong though. That one was like We're not gonna see that guy for a while, and that one like is so legit.
Yeah,
It's
that
so,
one looks.
it's so good.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
really
He's
good.
on my desk right now. I've been staring at him for months now.
Play with me.
Soon enough.
In the month of November and December, I got really into the Storm, like Muhammad Ali and Tyson, and some wrestling figures.
Uh-huh.
The Tyson is such a great figure.
Yeah.
So is that Ali.
I have that original Tyson they did, and he's great.
Yeah,
That figure you bought of Minoru, he's wrestling again. He's wrestling on AEW this week.
I saw that. With the what's it called?
Formerly known as Edge.
Adam Copeland.
Yeah.
You think
Formerly
you know
known
me?
as Edge sounds better.
Well, we do.
OG.
We do have answers from Rad Toyologists. So here we go. Wanted to thank Behind the Plastic for nominating this picture. Check out their YouTube channel, as we say, because these guys are awesome. Speaking of them, this picture was part of my first collaboration with Behind the Plastic's Jay, aka TMNT 1987. The theme was TMNT Sports. I had already been wanting to shoot a picture of these Storm collectible Balrog gloves. Well done, Johnny. Seeing that they fit the movie Turtles well. So this was a good time to do it, especially since NECA just released the new Angry Head sculpts for the movie Turtles. I had sat on the idea previously because I didn't know what I would do for the background. I ended up creating the boxing ring ropes digitally. Wow.
Really? Oh, that's a good
That
idea.
is
Crazy. Really?
Yeah.
That saved you $150. Good job.
Yeah. And despite making fun of the NECA sewer layer price, I still bought it and I'm quite happy with it. My turtles finally have a home and it photographs well. Check out the killer layer shots by the Dream Comparison _toys. So that's the account is Steven. So Rat just is again passing on another guy for you guys to check out. So the Dream Comparison _toys. But yeah, awesome work.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Number 3.
Oh,
850 Sith Lord.
Oh, look at old man Yimbo. It's cool.
man, Yimbo.
Yeah.
Wow, they're jumping ahead of that heel Yimbo hashtag.
Yeah, the Predator's saying no, heal you.
Yeah.
Who's that? Who's the figure at the bottom that the Predator is like holding the head?
I'm blanking on his name. He has
It's not
Rotem no
Rusty, is it?
Rakondo.
Wakanda. Oh, okay. No hat.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Cool.
Yeah, this is awesome. I really like the again not that it may have been intentional or not, but like just the diamonds style. Again, I'm not sure if this is an official one. I usually like to throw out the whole triangle. I know that that's a real composition, but like, is that Johnny? What do you think? Is that a thing? It's like a square compositional method, or this gets diamond
Yimbo,
shaped?
I was thinking
A
about
Fibonacci sequence. What is that? How technical do you
parallelogram.
know things, Johnny?
Johnny, if I can just interject here, I believe it's the parallelogram. So
Yeah.
effect. Sorry, I forgot that. Parallelogram effect.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm literally asking the group. I'm not totally sure. Is that do you think that, or is it just I mean, otherwise, I really like how the scene came to life. You know,
Yeah.
all aspects of the frame is filled, you know, like with action, with great posing.
Yep.
Machu, if you're done with your burger, you can come back in.
That's actually, yeah. I'm giving a diamond now. All right, take that one out. This is my one time to condense.
No, I want the triangle for the tip. It's a shape.
Give me the dong. All right. Sorry.
You're
I
in
know
a
that-
straight line.
Can you tighten
Yeah.
up that formation, please?
Oh my goodness, too funny. Oh my god. So 850 Sith Lord. Now we have great answers. Here we go. So he was watching the original Predator one night, and just so happened to have Sergeant Slaughter in my hands. See, that's what we do. We pose while we hang out. And it dawned on me that I need to set something up involving G.I. Joe's and Predator. Kind of like my homage to OG Predator. As far as dials go, everything was built by me with leftover foam board from my dad's boat building company and some Target Halloween trees from a few years ago that I cut the base off and created a new base for them. And OFC atmosphere, an atmospheric aerosol for the haze effect. What is making 850 Sith Lord happy is that this community is still strong and still super supportive of the new photographers getting into the hobby and still seeing so much creativity from some accounts that blows me away every time I open this up. So, man, thank you so much. I sent all my questions out very early or late tonight. I thought I did it this weekend. So thank you, 850 Sith Lord, for giving me those answers. Awesome job. Great account. All the good things.
Awesome.
And ready for number 2.
Number 2.
Oh, this one, Big Plastics. Such a fun shot. The story actually behind this one is that when I filmed TMNT 1987J to put him in the hot seat when he was came in number 1 on the show, we got to talking, and he said he basically nominated this shot for Half Baked Plastic, saying that it's really funny and it's definitely would be a winner.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, this one has just it's a perpetual smile from seeing it because it's so goofy, it's so silly, it's amazing. I mean, you throw Deadpool. This is why he is up there with it's him and Ant-Man. John, I don't know about you, but those are my two guys that I could basically feel like I can shoot anywhere. Obviously, Ant-Man speaks for himself, right? But Deadpool, you can literally make him a toy, make him realistic.
Yeah.
But I just feel like he works for everything. That's that fourth wall.
Deadpool and Toy Story Woody, you can put anywhere.
Yeah. That's another good one. Yep.
Johnny, what is a figure that you try not to shoot all the time because you would shoot it all the time?
Ooh, good question.
Good question. I go through phases, so it doesn't usually last super long. So I don't really have one that I'm like, I need to stop shooting this. But if I shoot something 2 or 3 photos in a row, I kind of know okay, if I go much longer than this, it's not going to start not being fun probably.
Yeah.
I think I do a decent job of giving them a break after a few shots.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you feel like you have an affinity for that Toby, that figure arts Toby?
I do lately, yes. That is
Okay.
one. And I think it's the custom head sculpt that I got kind of reignited inspiration for me with that. But that figure though, I mean, I didn't announce a top 10. I didn't say anything about mine, but I kind of keep a personal list of figures oh, this is my top 10, or here's my number 1. I believe he was my number 1 figure. And
wow.
due to how much fun I had taking photos of him.
Sure.
He's a great figure, but
yeah.
Awesome.
Well, half plate class. So this, I love that. I really do love that Toby. Such a good one.
It's
Great, Toby.
All right. So this is Jason Half Baked Plastics. So I'm sorry I didn't have time. That's okay. So we both apologize to each other for life. So we don't have answers, but Half Baked Plastic. I mean, again, this is fantastic. Everybody, go check out their account. So cool. But yeah, go. Amazing work, and no worries on the answers. It was our wire.
So joyful. And honestly, Half Baked Plastic. We just blame Yimbo. Heel Yimbo did this.
Heel
Yeah.
Yimbo. Right.
Yep.
Number 1.
Oh,
Alpha Tango.
Alpha Tango 1990s. Oh man. Well,
Johnny, you want to do the honor?
Oh yeah.
Sure. It's great storytelling right here. The lighting matches, at least from what I remember, that the scene is great. Focusing just on the helmet and the whatever the name is for the tool, whatever that would be. The pose, is good. It's right, he's about to come, hammering down on it. You can fully make out, you see the helmet, then you see him, immediately makes sense. Lighting matches. And the rest, it's like I don't know what's behind them there. It doesn't really matter. It's already like, this is good.
I need a 1/12 anvil.
Huh.
Like that is awesome.
I could probably print you out one if you want one.
Please do.
It's funny what you realize the miniature things that you need, or you didn't know that you needed, that you see.
Yeah.
Like, oh, of course, I need a mini version of everything that exists. Now.
Of course, I need a mini tong thing, whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
I always think about that when I buy soft goods for my toys. Yeah, of
Yes.
course my Hulk needs a rain jacket. What is he gonna do without it?
He's going to Asgard.
Again, I mean, we've all made this relation, Johnny. I don't know if you're in group. We buy too much stuff for our toys, but I definitely purchased more clothing for my action figures than myself, like articles of clothing, in the last few years.
That's very funny.
I definitely can't say the same, but I do buy a lot of accessory, like props and stuff for my figures.
Do you have
That's
a?
true, but that makes me sad.
Well, then I just do it. Then I probably bought my toys.
You didn't buy you-
Like, that's
I'm
why
gonna try
almost
to buy
wearing
you
the
some
same
hoodies
outfit every show.
every
Like,
year.
I know that the secret's out.
I mean, the fact that we talk about settling on Costco brand jeans and Amazon shorts, like, come on,
Hey,
These Mezcos are not cheap.
it's spoken like some true dads. You got the white New Balances. They're like grass.
white
stained.
New Balances,
We've all blended into that life.
thick athletic socks.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
cargo shorts has that nice stretchiness. It's really comfortable.
No, they are pretty stylish. I would
Johnny,
say.
at one point I did have. I mean, I still own Yeezys, but they're also old. At one point they were new Yeezys. That's been a long time. That chapter of my life is closed.
That's
When
Yimbo's
you
heel
retire,
name.
though, you've gone full dad. Right?
Oh yeah, that's.
Yimbo's heel name is Old Yeezy.
That's good. That's the
good.
hashtag. That's the hashtag.
Oh my god. Well, Alpha Tango did give us some answers. Again, he's been in top 10s before. Amazing artist. So here we go. This is my first shot. There we go in 2024. And I just thought to click something that represented situations that life throws at you. And now you build something out of that and it just makes it meaningful. That's awesome.
Yep.
And what's making him happy right now? He's like, everything in the community is making him happy. It's 6 a.m. in our part of the world, and who thought we'd be getting to talk about action figures on a podcast? It's so true. Adding to it, just being able to do what you love, projecting your ideas through a lens, and 6 inches of plastic happiness. Who thought that would be something 25 years back? Let the 5-year-old kid inside you run, you run wild and create magic. Thank you again for the love and support coming from across the community. Keep slaying, good hunting. Alpha Tango, you're the man, buddy.
You are the man.
And really great shot. Love the focus on the mask. So good.
And what now?
Well, Johnny's like, all right, we've officially taken up 3 hours of his life. But the good news is, I'd like to think that you've been enjoying all of this time.
Yeah, I hope you had a good time, Johnny. I really, honestly, really appreciate you coming out. It's been just a pleasure. And again, the only thing that we really want is just anytime we have a guest is for them to have fun and just laugh. So
Did that. Yep. Yeah. Thanks for inviting me. It was definitely fun.
Awesome. And now for this is just our little feature giveaway, our fast pass. So again, thanking everybody for hanging out with us live. So right now you have to be in the Toy Pick community actual live stream, because I know I'm simulcasting to my channel too, but you have to be in the Toy Pick community, hashtag Old Jeezy, for a chance to win a feature. Sorry, Chewy, that I'm just kind of running with this. This is
go ahead, keep going.
Talk. I'm so tired, man. Just talk.
Okay. So, I feel like I'm also in autopilot. It's just like autopilot's on, baby. Let's take this show home. This has been such a great night. But yeah, guys, get in there. You know the drill. If you are new to the stream, this is your chance to literally win a feature for the Toy Pick community. The premise is not to gatekeep anybody. There are so many different nominators, so many ways to get featured. one person running the account, like, so they're doing a killer job each week. And again, just we're three
Yeah, and
ways to get you fun.
in the spirit of this as well, it started off as a fast pass feature, so you can instantly use a photo from your past, or if you have that spark of creativity and you want to create a new photo, fantastic, reach out to me. Whoever wins will get that sorted out. Or if what some people have been doing, and actually G Balder tonight was in our top 10 because of that, you can also pass it forward to another photographer that you think may have a photo that you want to spotlight or could use a little bit of extra attention. So
Old Wheezy sold Sleazy.
and
Johnny, while we wait for this to build up, is there any figures that you're anticipating coming out either this year or like soon?
Yeah. Well, I mentioned the Mezco turtles.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for those.
And I did get an email about Prune Face, the Dick Tracy, the Mezco.
Oh,
But I'm like, so I'm excited about the Dick Tracy as well, more so. But it'll be cool to get that. I feel like that's something that I could see myself kind of taking a photo of right away, maybe.
Did you like that movie when it came out? I was obsessed with that movie when it came out. You might have been too young.
I remember watching it and being like, "Huh, what are these ugly dudes doing?"
Yeah, real ugly, right? And then one of them was Madonna.
You're like, I hope that's a prosthetic.
I thought I would like it a lot now, but as a kid, I was like, "What's going on here?"
did you guys know that? Did we talk? Have we talked about this? About that toy line? How it spoiled the movie? Did you guys know that?
The Playmates, the old night.
Yeah, the Dick
Yeah,
Tracy
I
toys.
remember.
Because I have the Dick Tracy figure. That was another mom pop up. Going to the store, KP. Like, oh, get Dick Tracy. And I love the the watch, the talking.
Yeah,
Oh,
the watch
the whole
is
aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah, that toy line like spoiled the character. Like show on the back of the boxes showing the accessories, the removable mask or whatever, like reveal.
Showing Madonna?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Spoilers, everyone. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I know. Are we, Pat? We're beyond spoilers for Dick Tracy.
What is that? 25?
I'm gonna get mad about that now. Like, I can't believe it.
Gosh, is it a 50-year-old movie? It's not a 50. No, I'm sorry.
No, there's not.
No, it's not a 50. But 30? 30-year-old movie?
It's. I mean, I'm. Yes. So probably yes.
I want to say at least.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, it has to be.
That Spider Noir shot that I did through the car, that's a Dick Tracy car.
Oh, cool.
That is new. Okay.
From what brand?
It's from that original toy line.
No way. Did you buy that recently, or did you save like?
I've had it for a few years. I've used it a couple times. In other shots, you can actually see the outside of the car, but it's like close enough in scale, like a Mezco could probably sit inside of it.
Oh wow! Oh
wow, that's pretty big.
I was gonna say, like,
lit up. Yimbo's gonna find it.
What's
Yimbo,
that?
go do it.
You're gonna find.
You gotta
this
find the
Dick
Dick Tracy car.
No, I don't have the Dick Tracy car. No, what I'm saying
you're
is
gonna find it on eBay.
That's where I got mine.
All right, well then I'll have to look.
For your 112 garage. You need
my garage is coming over. No, what I was going to tell Johnny is like I have like for the longest time. Actually, no, I don't have a 112 scale Ecto 1. The Ecto 1 that whenever I've either thought to use it was my real Ghostbusters one from way back when. From
Oh, like the Kenner one, like the
like just in the background. Again using force perspective and stuff.
It's big enough for background thing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Did you get in on that Kickstarter for the DeLorean?
I did not.
I did.
Yeah,
No, Chewie did.
I did as well.
I got one
for it.
Got one via J-Shot. Yeah, J-Shot paid for mine because I paid for a lot of his imports.
Oh damn, that's
really nice.
It's good. It's basically like a diorama.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
I took my order out only because I got the cat lair.
Oh, you got the cat lair?
Oh, you got cat lair.
So you collect the Thundercats Ultimates line, or
I have all the
Not
ones that I want. I don't have all of them
I
because
think you have to be an all-in collector if you have the Cat Slayer coming.
I have
You're pot committed. You
I
gotta
have
get them all.
Lion-O, Chitara, Tigra, Panthro, the core.
Mhm.
I'm getting Snarf. I have Bengali. I have 2 Mumras.
But Johnny,
Frail.
this
big
guy
one.
doesn't even want Wily Kit and Wily Cat. So I don't know. You
So I'm
can't-
thinking about Wily Cat, but
Do they come with the hoverboards
oh, do they? I don't know.
or the surfboard or whatever it is?
Yeah, I know they must, right?
I think you need to get it if it comes with the surfboard thing.
I'm not.
I
really,
mean, I'm still thinking about that.
I'm not a Thundercats guy really, but I do shoot those like at Super 7.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Cat Slayer in person?
No, it's massive.
It's wild how big that thing is.
Oh, the
I can't
Thundercat
wait.
is on sale, Toy Father.
A Thundercat is on sale.
The Thunder Tank is on
Oh
sale.
no,
Oh,
I'm
the Thunder-
okay.
yeah.
I don't need the Thunder Tank. I don't
Yeah,
need
you-
It was on sale for I think
You need
$344.
that.
So like
It's in
You
the layer.
the
It's a
like,
tank. You don't have a tank.
like lengthwise, is it like longer? Like what are we talking about here? Like
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's not.
it's like this.
It's not small.
Yeah,
I can't wait, Chris. I'm so excited.
Think about it this way.
As a as a diorama.
Yeah.
That's like if you're gonna take photos of it, that's how you're gonna use it.
yeah.
Chris, would you get a Batcave and not have a Batmobile?
Are you trying to quit this for the Thunder Tank?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, I already have a Batmobile. I would love a Batcave.
probably
Put it-
more expensive.
$700. I'll take a back game right now.
the Thunder Tank doesn't speak to me though.
Fair. Hey,
Okay.
that's
If
okay.
Thunder-
that's Spark Joy, you're good.
You had to
Thunder
do,
Layer though. Jeez.
yeah, I think
I
you
mean, the
chose
cat layer.
the right one. If you're gonna go with one, I think you made the right choice.
Yeah.
Chris, every time it comes up, it really does like I get so giddy because that you are getting it because it does like I should have done it. It's gonna be so awesome, man. Like it's gonna
No,
be
Yimbo,
so
you
great.
should not have done it. That's just
It's a
insane.
lot. It's a lot larger than you probably think.
Oh my god.
Like I know you know like because you see the photos and you've probably seen like videos of people like seeing it in person, but when you actually see it, I mean, I saw so many things of it like working at Super 7 before I saw it in real life, and I was like, holy shit! Like
Seriously.
it's like it's no.
Well, when I saw it in San Diego, like at the Super 7 booth, I was just like, I turned to Jay Shot. I'm like, holy cow.
yeah,
Thank
Really?
God I don't do Thundercats because I would totally get this.
yeah, and it. I mean, do you have a spot like? that
I
you know-
have a spot, so I'm redoing this whole thing. It's gonna take a hot minute, but
Yeah.
I have a spot, but I just don't know if it's big enough
For you to live in?
for me to live in. Because when it comes, Machu, I will be living in it.
Yeah.
Diggs
I just-
does ask an interesting question. How are you going to get groceries for the Kyler without the tank?
Good question. Good
Yeah.
question. Biggs.
All good questions.
All good questions. Legitimate questions.
Oh gosh.
Hey, Yeah, too much. Don't forget, everybody. Again, this is your chance. Real quick. We'll do another one. What do you want to do? Another minute?
One more minute.
One more minute?
Get it in there.
Did
That's
Emma
easy.
Kinney give us any questions tonight?
I don't think so.
Messy.
Emma Kinney, you okay, man?
Maybe
I hope
maybe
not.
it's maybe it's something to do.
That's
I
true.
know. No,
That's
he's been in
true.
the
Again,
chat. I've seen his
attended-
name.
Maybe he's dusting off an area for the cat lair. I don't know.
Totally get it. That was actually more sincere. You okay, man?
Oh, Diggs just nailed it. It's the laser layer. I'm telling you, Chris, when you get that Super 7 cat layer, you have to use every like literally your goal. If you skip a day of taking a picture just for your story and posting it, I will be so upset with you. Every day, I want a cat layer, another little quick shot of a figure doing something.
You also need a laser tank.
a laser tank.
Ooh, laser tank.
It is going to be the laser layer, though. This is going to be so great.
You can get those extreme set Iron Man armory. Little
Well,
insert.
I'm telling you, there's the barnery. Like I want to make, a barn full of Laserman armor.
Chris, do me a favor. This is the time to shine. Throw up that hashtag one more time, so to remind people.
Yeah, well,
use it. If you have.
Let's do the hashtag. Do the giveaway. I won't.
I was gonna let you explain Laserman.
I got it.
You're like, no, I need more.
I mean,
than
it's just rude now. Johnny's been waiting.
Yeah, no. Well, that's the build-up, right? So
Well, I mean, I
let's do
did
this.
see like some in the last show.
Oh, okay. Well, well, it's all right. You'll get the whole thing.
All right, clicking away. 3, 2, 1.
No.
Did we
Oh,
click it?
something got you. I did. It's still going. Digs Figs.
Oh, nice.
Yay!
Little
Awesome.
stutter action, little stutter step, StreamYard.
That's
And
awesome.
then
robbed.
Oh, shoot, sorry. And then I'm clicking it one more time because we missed it last week.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's on my name again.
Boop 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 doo 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 doo.
Macho, yeah.
Did you guess it?
That's hilarious. Remember
47,
Macho,
remember?
you know what was hilarious when the toying around stream for the raffle, you kept on winning the raffles.
Yeah, I just kept passing it on because I'm like, I already have that figure.
Yeah, then they did it like Macho again. I'm like, oh gosh.
Well, as you know, Matt, it could be one of yours, or you can pass it on. It's
Matt
totally
still
your
has
call.
one banked.
That's the. What's up?
Matt has one banked already.
No, I used it, I think.
No, you didn't. You would have had to
I
reach
did?
out to me to use it.
Oh. So now I have 2 banked.
There you go.
Clicking again.
Nice. Oh, you're doing it again.
Boop,
Okay.
boop, boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop, 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 boop.
Phantom
Oh,
Tour.
Nice.
There we go.
What's all right, all
Congrats.
right. Phantom
Perfect.
Choreography. Great to have you here, man. That's awesome. Hit up
Reach out to
Chewy,
me. Yep.
the Chooster, Punky Chooster.
Punky Chooster.
Punky
That's my-
Chooster.
That's my heel name.
Punky Chooster. That's a great heel name. Johnny, thanks so much for joining us.
How about Laserman?
Really pumped for like.
Woo.
Is there? Wait. First of all, is there anything you want to plug?
I mean, you can find me on Instagram at Sergeant Bananas. That's about it. Thanks again for having me on.
Dude, I really loved hearing also this has been so great getting to talk to you and get to meet again. But man, like hearing about your process and going through that was awesome. That was really awesome. Wonderful to hear. So thank you very much for sharing your knowledge with us.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, we're not leaving yet. We're gonna.
I know.
About Laserman.
I know.
I'm leaving.
Well, so, Johnny, here's the whole story. When I was 9 years old,
Unite my toy collectors, photographers, and more. We had some fun tonight, but we're out of pictures to explore. We thank you for your time. It was nothing but sublime. Though it's time to go to bed, don't be filled with dread. Because next week we'll be right here. Your toy daddies will appear to bring you joy and laughter every night and here on after.